we should be live. And as I was just saying to Rios, 5 minutes late is nothing. You should be grateful.
You should be grateful that we're streaming.
Oh man, let's make sure. Let me take a look. Let me see how we sound. Rios has audio, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, can you imagine if we stream this whole stream and you're like, oh, sorry, your audio wasn't. Like, I'm surprised chat just allowed us to go that long without even mentioning it.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like we're good. I'm gonna have the chat up on my phone so I can do as little on my laptop as possible. You know, my laptop. It's I'll be. Can I be real with you guys? One of the reasons I've been nervous to stream as of late is because the last time we streamed, I seem to remember having a lot of issues during the retrospective. I feel didn't it like full crash at one point and then
yeah,
stressing me out, man. Holy shit! All right, well let's get up that chapter and hope my laptop doesn't explode. And yeah, but I mean, in the meantime, we can let people pour in, say hi.
Yeah.
Rios
oh yeah,
I was just gonna say.
I just got about like an hour ago. I was staying up real late last night working on a little artistic project that you guys are probably gonna be seeing hopefully within this week. But yeah, some art.
That is exciting. Okay, I hope loading this chapter isn't exploding my shit. Doesn't look like it. Very good. All right, let's take a look at the chat. I'm gonna try to hype up the energy. I got
the Miss Counselor.
I got me a V8 energy drink, so I don't feel as bad because there's vegetable juice in it. So yes.
Oh my god, staying up reading. These people, these MFers they're gonna let me live it down just because I'm a base writ enjoyer. They think that's all I think about all the time. I mean, maybe it is, but it's
run your tongue over your teeth was crazy though. That was crazy. But
I've said it before, but yeah. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited to... I can't say it. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I'm just excited for future events.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me read some chat here. Baja Epic, we love edging you. Put that on my gravestone. Tell him to stop letting you up. Rios at the ATM. Did you get out all the money you owe me, Rios?
Yeah, I'm just like I don't know. Yeah, you just go into the ATM trying to you're like what like, the memo on the you can put the thing. It's like Reds like a ransom money or something like that.
It's my pimp fund.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Hello Tuesday. How's it going? Yeah. Hello, Baja Epic. Hello, MK. Rios is getting counseling. Oh, yeah, I'll get counseling from her. Give me that leg lock.
Oh, that's some crazy counseling. I mean, there's such a thing as sex therapy. So.
Leg lock. Richmond is currently working his job at Walmart. He's, like, found a corner, and he's just, like, typing that, all caps. Okay. Let me just one more check to make sure we sound good, and then we can get into the main events. Okay. So, here's what happened, guys. We filmed the best, the most epic, the most amazing review I've ever filmed in my entire life. And then the world conspired against me by, OBS. I don't know if you guys ever used OBS. It has this tendency to keep the settings you have 99% of the time. You open it up time and time and time again, the settings are all the same. And then randomly one day, it'll just be like, what if we just reset to default and didn't tell you? So we recorded a whole hour-and-a-half long review, our typical, our formula, right? And I had audio, and Rios didn't. So it just kind of looks like I'm rambling to myself. And there's like these pauses where it's just like, and then I giggle a little, and then it's so good. I wanted it, dude. I talked to a friend of mine, and he was like, you should have just released that and called it the Schizophrenic Edition.
Yeah, I mean, we can still do that, after the stream. I think it'd be a nice little companion piece.
That's true, yeah. We'll have 2 reviews for the price of one. I mean, I really do kind of want to, because, like, I was so energetic and so I was in like peak mental form, and now for this one I'm scared I won't be able to recapture it because both of us have kind of just woke up. Both of us are a little bit on the lethargic
I mean, I still
side.
got my notes where I have most of the things, several of the things I said on that stream I can just refer back to.
That's true,
That's a
right?
good thing about
The Rios' method.
Yeah.
Rios is actually going to improve with time. Rios is like a
Yeah.
fine wine, and I'm like a disgusting KFC
Milk.
chicken bucket. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm imagining
aging like a KFC chicken.
a KFC chicken bucket in the sun. You know what's funny is I almost went to Big Mac, but like notoriously, famously, McDonald's food does not rot or get mold because there's so much bullshit in it.
It kills all the like contaminant, like all the bacteria or microbes.
Yeah, the microbes don't even want to eat it, bro. It's not even tasty to them. So I'm gonna run through chat one more time, and then we're gonna just try to review this as we did before. Because I mean, man, it was peak. Let's see. Please, it is too hot. Oh God, Florida. I can't imagine. It's a nice, beautiful 60 degrees and sunny over here in Michigan.
Yeah, same about here, about 57 degrees, something like that. Yeah.
I use BSOBS. I hate how it randomly cut out my video. Yes, I'm so sorry, Scott. Cool dude. I am suffering from the heat stroke. Miss Nat McDonald's Miss Natty. Yes. Oh all right, guys. Thanks for being here. You know, again, like normally we don't like to do the live reviews live because we're kind of better in like a vacuum, and you know, but this is just had to be done because of technical issues.
Yes, dude, extenuating circumstances and all that.
I'm so mad about it too because like it was perfect timing. It's like a really important chapter. And then we just got like 20 subscribers basically from the 20 new subscribers from the Moonlight collab. So now it was a perfect time to just shoot out that review, and it exploded. So yeah.
I mean, this is a great way to show those 20 subscribers what it's all about here at the Chaos Squared, channel. It's like very, it's chaotic.
It's very true, and it's also a great opportunity for you guys to give us money. Don't.
Yeah.
Unless you
it's
want
Rhett's
to.
birthday, I mean, just a little nudge, wink, wink,
You don't have to, but it is fun to joke about it.
Speaking of money, I was coming back from work. I just become Reddit just messaged me about this chapter like literally like 30 minutes before I got out of work. So I was driving back to work all like, oh my god, I can't wait to read the chapter and record our little discussion. And I was like, so yeah, it was. I was excited because I mean, we all knew it was probably gonna be a new girl, and we got some hints from Moonlight in the Discord saying kind of.
Yeah, the hints were not spoilery though, because I don't tolerate spoilers. It was like a out of context, like one of those like, here's the new episode of this out of context, and if you don't know, you have no idea. What was it, like Kishika in a car with a stop sign or something?
Yes, it was wildly accurate, but also so vague that you were not gonna get it.
Okay, let's go. Let's do our best here. So, first things first. I mean, again, we should just jump around. There's not even in the original video we did a little bit of order and then jump around. Now, since we've already talked about it, fuck it, bro. Let's just. I love her. I mean, genuinely.
Same here.
There's a couple points here, right? One, new adult girlfriend. Really great to have.
Yes.
First since Tama, who barely even feels like an adult. So first since Momaha. I like the fact that she's like the first adult girlfriend we have who isn't like a girl failure. Have you thought about that? Because I had this conversation with Allie. Like every other adult we have is a failure of some kind, right? Like okay, Hahari has Jeff Bezos wealth, but she's like mentally like a mess.
Yes.
You have Natty. I mean, no explanation needed. Girl failure. You have Momaha, who is like the definition of a girl failure, and then Tama, another different end of the spectrum, but still a girl failure. So like, this is a woman who has her life together, and we've actually met her at the beginning of her unraveling. Like, this is the moment.
Crazy to think about.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I was just like kind of throwing in a little.
Ryo spice.
Yeah.
No, please save me from the rambling. If it wasn't for you, I would just my whole life would be that little echo edit that Earl did.
Oh yeah, you're right. But yeah.
And then I can eat more. I can eat more popcorn chicken while you talk because I haven't eaten anything. Continue.
True. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, she is the first non-girl failure adult. Though I mean, I don't know. There are different types of failure, I guess. Like like the classic sort of what do you call it? Like the person who's like really great in school, but then once they get to college and they have to
The term you're thinking of is
like
peaked in high school.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Just like her
Like
dad probably did.
yes, the policeman. Yeah, the person who's like really good in these sort of like rigid, structured environments, but as soon as you throw them out to the wild, they're like they're lost kind of thing.
Well, a good example of that would be like her social life, right? Like she's
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Yeah.
Yes. So like really good, like she fits in like a perfect puzzle piece in the what society wants you to be, right? But like the second you have to, I don't know, go out with your friends, drink, have a little fun, there's not a lot there. I mean, I'm really getting the vibe.
I mustn't drink.
Oh yeah, no, and that's something I'm gonna have to keep like coming back to all the points we made in the original video. But like, so I get the vibe that this woman does not have friends, right?
Yes,
because and it's not even like with Nano. Nano didn't have friends because she considered them a waste of time. I'm sure she would love to have friends as long as, but the second they want to like do something kind of fun, she'd be like, "Oh, you disgust me."
Yeah, yeah, that's like as a character who is like we brought this up in our now apocryphal.
There's gonna be a lot of that. Like, okay,
yeah.
Going back to this thing that we talked about originally.
But she's like a weird sort of like fusion of like Kyo and Nano. It's like he answers the question, what would happen if Nano and Kyo had a child? And like it's a pressing question which we've all been desperately seeking the answer to.
I would like to see the process as well.
But yeah, it's like Nano, she's very focused.
An 18-year-old Chio, to clarify. Thank you.
Of course. And she's very focused on living her life according to this one particular thing. Like in this case, sort of lawfulness rather than efficiency. But like Chio, she also wants to make others conform to that law as well. But sort of different from those two. Like he's a lot more like. I feel like I get the feeling that this structure that he's in is a lot more like externally imposed on her, whereas like like Nano, it feels like she wants to be efficient of her own volition. It's not, as far as we can tell, it's not something being forced on by outside forces.
I'm sure that probably makes you really love that too, because I know one of your things about Nano is that you wish you had a little bit more of her like building blocks as like a person. And like
we get this right away with Miss Morikita, which is like another way that Nakamura like cooked in this one. But yeah,
this whole chapter is insanely good. So I'm gonna walk through a couple points here, right? So one, we were all very excited to get an adult girlfriend. There was someone mentioned, and I shouted them out in the original defunct schizophrenic version of this review, but like, and I'll either upload that or I'll find who commented it later, but someone on the Moonlight collab we just did basically like timestamped and said, we watch here as three men nearly have a prophetic vision, and this was recorded a week before even the like original raws dropped for this. So we said something like, oh god, we need an adult girlfriend, and then I don't know if it was Moonlight or you, but one of you was like adult police girlfriend, and we're so close. So close. And it's exciting. So that's one thing we were excited about. The second thing, and this is what I want to jump to now, so glad. I've been begging for this, pleading for this. If you watch our videos, you know this. I needed someone of authority to be like, this needs to stop. What you're doing needs to stop. I even have mentioned the ultimatum before of like, them saying like, okay, well, you need to drop out of school then, or like, we're going to expel you if you don't, yada, yada. I love, this is drama. This is what I've been craving. And I'm sure it won't
it was like a mini court drama where he had to like argue his case to like the judge about like why my alternative mode of existence is totally legit, please. Like,
and we find out so many things that, like, obviously things that we could have headcanoned, but like to hear Rentaro just like lay out his life philosophy is so good. I mean, like something that we mentioned in the original video is like, this is like Nakamura just shines with like this philosophy debate. I mean, like Rentaro and let me get her name. I'm gonna go Kimari. I'm gonna try Kimari. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Rentaro and Kimari
are having a very cute name.
It's very cute, which is an interesting juxtaposition, right? Because like you get the feeling that there's this like free spirit trapped within, because of how she was raised. So they have like this debate back and forth, and we get a lot of fascinating lines, right? Like I love the one where he straight up just says, "It's no exaggeration to say that these girls saved me." That every single one of them saved me. I really like the wording of that. Tuesday's in here, so I'm sure they can elaborate on if that's like literal but either way, I love the wording of that, because when I hear saved me, and not to be dramatic, but I think of like suicide stuff. You know what I mean? And like this is something I mentioned in the original video too. I was like, I don't know if that's over dramatic. And then Rios was like, if I was rejected 100 times,
yeah, 100 times over like 16 years of my life, yeah, I would probably be feeling a little suicidal as well. And we saw in like the Meru, I guess Conquest chapter, whatever, which he initially. Right,
this
like,
is how I used to wake up in the morning, and he's like,
yes,
time for another
what's the point of even living? This is how I wake up now, and he's constantly destroying the roof of his bedroom. Like he must have like a crazy renovator who can fix that thing every day just from to destroy it the next day. But yeah,
renovator girlfriend.
Yeah, well, maybe.
What's
he doesn't make eye contact with her for years. Well, for however long he's been in high school, I guess.
Like fucking 10 years on the line, we're gonna have like so I broke the ceiling again. Our family's calling over the renovator we always use. Like at this point, we get like a family discount, and then it's like this beautiful like 19-year-old girl. I'm like, wow.
He's like, yeah, my dad couldn't come today because his back has been put out from fixing your roof every day for the past X number of months.
Yo, it would be just give me a gender bend of Bob the Builder. What is the gender bend name of Bob?
Yeah,
how do you make Bob a girl name?
Like, Boob. Like Bobina.
Boob the Builder. Okay, moving on. So yes, I love to see that. And this like the scandal element also, the like ooh scandalous element is great because again, here we have a woman who is calling this kid in. She's calling Rentaro in because she has heard the legends, the stories. Their staff is beginning to become aware, and they're like, okay, this is kind of weird, right? Like this one boy is hanging out with like 30 plus girls. They don't know about the staff members yet, thank God. Somehow they're keeping that on the DL. Hahari's using her connections or something, but she's blackbagging anyone that sees. We haven't seen that journalist in a while. I'll just say.
Oh no.
But anyway, so like I love the idea. Like imagine, I want you guys to like put yourselves in the footsteps here. You're a 27-year-old woman. You have a really successful career. You're like you have your life super together. Mentally, you might be a little sad, but you're pushing that back into the recesses of your mind. You have a great career. Your parents love and respect you. You're just a super serious person, and you catch wind of a young freshman in your school that is like doing salacious romance shit with like multiple girls, and it's becoming disruptive and a problem, and no doubt a lot of these girls are like skipping classes to be up on this rooftop. Let's be real. So you have to call him in, and you're like, I need to put an end to this. I need to put my foot down and let him know how serious this is. And he walks in, and instantly you're like, holy fuck, Awuga!
Yes,
and then
the zing immediately with the person that you're about to like try and correct, basically try to like sentence the horny jail, basically.
And the other, again, on top of that, the other element that sometimes we don't think about because it's so normalized in this series, you're a 27-year-old woman and this is a 16-year-old high school student.
Yeah.
And your entire life personality framework is I'm a rule follower, and your fucking loins, your nether regions, your pussy just betrayed you. It is purring right now, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's so funny to me, the thought process of, because when the staff hears about what's going on with Rentaro, they have to be wondering to themselves, that is insane. How is he doing that? And then like the second you see him and you have that feeling, you're like, oh, I get it. So like that internal conflict of her trying to like push it back, push it down is perfect. It's moi. I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
refer to your notes, brother.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah. This is something I did bring up. But like this character is like the perfect example of what psychologist Carl Jung would have referred to as like the eruption of the shadow. You know, it's like,
oh yes,
like, you know, like, yeah, you're gonna get it.
I'm getting all the repeats.
Yeah. But I'll try to spruce up a little so it's not exactly
it's good.
the same.
This is all new to them. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know, in our lives, you know, we all have, you know, aspects of ourselves that we like repressed for whatever reason or another. Maybe we were ashamed for them when we were younger, or we are ourselves ashamed of them because they don't accord with our values, whatever. But you know, either way, these aspects of ourselves we haven't like integrated into our like conscious daily life. They are the kind of like a beach ball pushed underwater, And I mean, we know how that goes. Like the harder you try and push those things underwater, the more the water pushes back. And like the second you like let up or allow that beach ball to get out from under you, it's gonna erupt out of the water and spray your unexamined,
and smack another child in the face,
yeah,
giving you
yeah, we'll spray your unexamined subconscious all over everyone. You'll be leg locking a 16-year-old, smooching them in the fucking council room, and you're gonna be wondering how the hell did this happen. And
we're gonna pick up on that in just a second. I gotta give shout outs to Scott Days. Scott Days just donated $2 saying happy birthday, Red Rios. Sorry for OBS.
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Scott Days, and we will scroll through we're gonna definitely skim through the chat at various points during this review, but I'm gonna do the King of Lightning rules, which is if you do donate money, don't do it unless you really can. If you do donate money, then I will interrupt the review to respond to you, because I feel like I have to. You've given us real life human currency. But yes, we will look at all the chat and we will do our best to respond to as much of it as possible. I love you guys so much. So responding to what what Rios said. And this is something I referred to in the original review. One of the reasons I'm instantly clicking with this girl is I had a similar thing. I think we all kind of have to varying degrees, maybe, but like I was raised. It makes it sound like, okay, when I say this, it makes it sound like I wasn't raised an atheist, but I was raised like my parents didn't give a shit. They didn't talk about religion like at all, which is like a super not common experience, I've come to find out, right? Like most parents,
especially in America.
Yes. And so like I'm actually really thankful to my parents for that, because they also didn't, it would have been kind of equally weird if they came out and were like, hey, you, God doesn't exist. If I catch you believing in God, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and you won't go anywhere because there's no religion.
Yeah. I'll send you the void early,
No, so like my mom would basically just believed whatever my grandma believed, which was like very nebulous. What's it called? Is it agnostic when it's like something, right? Yeah. And then my dad is actually like a staunch atheist. Very interesting. So basically, I lived my whole life not thinking about it at all, and then I got to a point where I like learned about the concept of hell. And as a really anxious kid, worrywart. I mean, like, so anxious I was taking antidepressant medicines at the age of 10. Very healthy for me, I'm sure. Shout out to the Zoloft gang. But went from Zoloft to citalopram, which was an off-brand of Celexa, to... That might have been the only two. Anyway, point being, and Alexa just heard Celexa as Alexa. Anyway.
Damn.
So... I had a massive flip-flop around, like, late middle school, early high school. I learned about the concept of hell, scared the shit out of me. Because, I mean, like, you're a kid, and you're thinking, even if there's a 1% chance, that is eternal damnation and suffering forever. That is fucked.
Yeah, so that's literally like the Pascal's wager thing. It was like what's better to assume that God exists and be wrong, or to assume that God does not exist and be wrong, and then trying to
that's kind of how my kid brain took it, unfortunately. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I need to lock in here and be a super uber good religious boy, because I can't be going to hell. And for like 2 or 3 years, it kind of ruined my life. Like I stopped watching anime. I stopped playing video games. I stopped swearing. I stopped masturbating. Legendarily, I've discussed this. I went like 2+ years without masturbating at all. And my God, when I tell you, the first nut after 2 years of not nutting is gonna you ascend. But
that's one reason to go to abstain for 2 years.
So yeah, all that to say, I understand this girl. I really do, because like. It's the same reason, by the way, like, I was questioning for a while about being gay or not, or like bisexual or not, but I kind of pushed it back. And the last couple years, I feel like I get more and more bisexual by the day. It's just, once you break down that wall, you're just like, oh my God, there's no rules. I can just do this. I can just dive into this thing that brings me joy, and it doesn't fucking matter because it's not hurting anybody, And so like here we are with her. And I really, really like this. It's just such a cool character. You have this moment where even the littlest thing, obviously, that's funny. How to put this? Okay, so like there's going to be one element of her where it's like, oh, she's so giddy and happy about crossing a crosswalk without waiting. But then I was going to say, oh, she's going to start small, but she did start with pedophilia. So
yeah.
What a first rule to break. But either way,
like that's the one and only rule I'll break. Everything else I'll to make up for it.
It's like those hentais where, you ever read those hentais where they keep making justifications about why what they're doing isn't cheating?
Yeah,
they're like, well, if it's anal, it's not cheating. Well, if it's in my pussy but there's a condom on, it's not cheating.
Yeah, the tip, just the tip, that's
not cheating.
If he's coming in me just one time, that's not cheating. Oh my lord, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I love it.
Girl and or guy, just accept what you're doing. Please.
Exactly. So all that to say, and this is something I wanted to respond to too. There was, I think it was Thief of RPG. I hope I'm not saying the wrong person here, so he doesn't get fucking berated with hate. Don't hate anyone, obviously, but he in our Discord was kind of like, I don't really understand the hype around this character, because like it seems to me, most everyone is like, S tier, sound the alarms. Yeah. Nakamura's so back, you know. And for me, it comes from the fact, and this is, again, something we talked about extensively in the original video, the base of her character feels really, really, really well fleshed out. I made the metaphor of like a house of cards, right? Like, it's very stable, and so you can add so much to it. To me, this feels like a Shizuka character. Shizuka doesn't have a lot of wacky gimmicks. Her main thing is that she talks with her phone, but it's not, you don't get the sense that that's like the only thing about her. Like, I'm going to compare it to Hasu, which of course Hasu has time to grow.
Yeah.
But Hasu's the most recent example of someone who, to me, feels like what I like to call a spin the wheel character or a dartboard character, which is like, okay, I need a new character. She's got to be wacky and silly. Spin the wheel of attributes. What attribute will she get? Okay, smell fetish, dressed like a detective. Hilarious.
I remember we trying to figure out like how would we break Miss Morikita down into like those in that kind of like simple 1, 2, 3 traits, where like the only thing we could really come up with was rule follower, that kind of thing. But it was like I mean very actually I did last night I spent a lot of time while watching Backtrack React's really great live translation of the chapter. I was writing down like a shit ton of stuff. Sort of breaking down all the different little influences I could figure out from just her character design. It was actually pretty crazy. I'll try to throw them in individually, because if I went over there all right now, we'd be like 20, 30 minutes. Like, I mean, just one little like visual motif I see is just like I mean, like I mentioned, like this girl is sharp. Like she looks sharp as hell. Like
yes.
Sharp enough to puncture the hull of an Empire class battleship. Because she's so sharp, but serious. But like her character design is like severe. Like I'm kind of reminded of like Professor McGonagall from from Harry Potter or whatever. But like she's obviously less wrinkly than Miss McGonagall. But like I know she's got a lot of lines on her face. Like from like every line on her face, every line on like her eyelids, even her freaking like eyebrows. They're all made of individual lines. Which I mean I'm not really sure what that means, but it's something that I know. It's like, I mean, maybe it's kind of like, maybe it does have like a bit of an element of like motif of wrinkles without being wrinkles kind of thing.
Ed and Nettie need to come in and grab her lines.
Yeah.
Did you get that reference?
Actually, no. I was laughing along with you because I was like, I figured that's a joke. I recognize the form of joke. But
there's a famous Ed and someone in the chat will appreciate this. Say it if you get it, and I'll be happy, and then I'll call you out for getting my joke. But there's an Ed and Eddie episode where they like, it's really fucking creepy. They basically slowly start to learn they're in a cartoon, but like it's played for more like, not horror, but it's played for like, oh my god, what the fuck? It's a lot less like comedy and a lot more like, why can I see, like they're like noticing that the perspective is weird of things, and they're able to like they grab one of the character's outlines and like fucking pull it off, and then he melts into a puddle and shit. It's very weird episode.
Ed and Eddie style.
Yeah, and then there's a one point where one of them grabs the sun and takes a bite out of it like a cookie, and then puts it back up in the sky, and it becomes the moon.
Wait, wasn't that from Ed and Eddie?
Like, that's what I fucking said!
Oh god.
What did you think I said?
I don't remember you saying Ed and Eddie. I
said Ed and Eddie need to come in here and grab her line. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, because I didn't hear. I didn't like catch the. Like I literally missed like the first word he said. I got everything. I was like, needs to come in and catch because I didn't. Crazy. I don't know.
I believe.
Maybe Discord. Discord cut out for a second.
Problem.
Yeah. Well. We'll blame it on Discord.
All that to say, yes, we haven't discussed her design enough, and I agree. Like, we mentioned the pussy bow. You called it a pussy bow, apparently.
Yeah, yes, that's literally what it's called. I looked it up during that recording.
Her outfit is amazing. I love how it's very, I don't know if tight is the right word, but it's well fitted, right?
Yeah, Like I met it, like it had like it reminds me a lot of like like the sort of like a pilgrim, the early American uh super religious pioneers like the Calvinists, the Grahams, the Amish, whatever. Like especially with the poofy sleeves really give off that thing. But like I remember like this on the Shava on like page 12, it really gave off like the energy of like that classic religious like housewife on the frontier or whatever. And yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, she would be like the wife in that famous painting with like the yeah. But yeah,
like there's so many little motifs like that. Like I mean, even the bow thing kind of has like an element of like a judge type. Like, I think that's something a judges wear, but I mean, there's so many different
probably
elements
pretty
of like super.
She's getting
like,
stuff
super
from her mother
strict,
there.
Yeah, so many elements like super strict like archetypes and like roles all put together in a really seamless fashion. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is one where Nozawa also cooked. I mean, everyone's cooking here.
Oh yeah,
we were cooking.
We talk about
Rentaro was cooking.
We were cooking until OBS fucking sabotaged us. If we want to talk about Nozawa cooking, let's talk about. And I know we talked about this in our last review, or in the now dead review. Now I think that moments like this are what separate this from like your Rent-A-Girlfriends, your I don't know what is Toko, what Chan is a girls, I don't know, like all these other series that I'm not saying they're bad. Rent-A-Girlfriend is bad, but like some of them are, I would say mid, right? Like what is the one I'm thinking of? The something is a girl. What's her name?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
I watched the first like 2 episodes of it. I watched the first 2 episodes of it, and it's just like nothing can stand up now to 100 Girlfriends. I'm like most of them come off as like mid
all that romance
now.
comedy slop. I can't. My palate is too refined now. It's
the writing is just so much better. It feels like there's depth to a lot of these.
Like would you ever have a scene like this? Just where like the dialogue drifts away and we get these long shots of the empty streets to let us know. I mean, obviously Rentaro gave a little bit of a lead in to let us know that this is a light that lasts a long ass time.
The fucking Mario any percent run joke is so funny. That Tuesday, I gotta know, is that like genuinely?
Yeah, that was in the review. I saw so in Backtrack React thing. It's like like he didn't. I mean, he just stays there. Like we figure. We get what's happening like right away, and then we just get to live in that little moment and get to see like, oh, this is what this person is like,
What's nice about this too is it's like it's not delusional. It's not delusion, right? It's not like because like another way you could write this character in a worse way would be, oh, I follow the rules because like I'm terrified that the world is gonna crumble around me if I don't, right? So like
that'd be basically just OCD at that point, right?
Yes,
that'd be classic OCD.
Understandable. So for her, she's a very intelligent woman, and she knows that she could cross this and it'd be fine. But it's just this belief she has of like, well, rules are what keeps society running, and if I start breaking them willy-nilly here and there, everyone will. I need to be a role model for the world, and I'm sure she thinks it's I'm sure she'd like to get home and not wait a minute and a half. Someone needs to look up what the shortest Mario any percent run is, right? Because I want to know how long this light is at minimum. I assume he means the original Mario.
Perhaps I don't really know enough about.
I'm gonna look up right now. World record.
I've been in some long ass lights. But actually, I did get in kind of a similar situation on accident, where it's like I was driving back home one day, and like one of the lights I got on, I was getting a call, and then one of the lights I normally went at had.
Okay, I'm at speedrun.com for the original Super Mario Brothers, and this is so the fastest is 4 minutes 54 seconds. So
oh my Lord.
This has to be a 5 minute plus light at least. And she's like, and I believe it. I mean, I've had some lights that feel like it's approaching that. So like, I just love the idea of that. That makes it even better. I figured maybe it was a minute or two. She's standing here for 5 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's committed to the not the bit, but to the life, to the rules. She's committed to the rules.
Yeah, I follow rules for the bit. That's like when you play GTA and you stop at all the stoplights for the bit.
Oh my Lord, yeah. I'm gonna be just a regular citizen in GTA.
There is something kind of fun about that. It's novel.
Yeah.
Oh God, let me get the chat.
Go wake up at 8 a.m. Go to my job. This is work.
Holy fuck. Okay. So yeah. I followed the rules of society for a bit. I got a job for a bit. I had kids for a bit.
That'd be crazy. I mean, that might be a fun way to reframe it. You know, like I'm not doing this corporate grind just for the hell of it. I'm doing it for the bit.
I'm gonna tell when they try to fucking promote me. I'll be like, I almost said my boss's name. I shouldn't do that. I'll be like, yeah, Mr. Blank. I've really just been doing this job for the bit. I don't really like it. Sorry.
Yeah, like it's been one big
prank show.
Bring up the cameras. One big prank show.
Okay, fucking A. So, let's talk, and we're gonna be jumping around, so if I skip something, feel free to bring it back, right? Mm-hmm. So, Riz Taro. We need to talk about this shit.
Yeah, we mentioned, like, I mean, as the girlfriends go by, our boy Rentaro is getting way more suave with it, way more Riz with it, I don't know, like...
His dick increases in length every day. And girth.
Yes, the elephant becomes the giraffe.
Ooh, man. Okay, so let's talk about this here. So something I mentioned in the original review is when I was reading this chapter, and with zero exaggeration, I was jumping up and down in my bed. Like specifically at this part down here, with the I'll break the rules for you, and their faces are next. Yep. I was breathless, I was screaming, and I was jumping up and down in my bed. This is amazing, and because again, there's so many moments here. I'm reading this, and there's so many moments where it could have been yikesy, but it never was. Rentaro is living proof that you can be the fucking Rizzler Chad and also be a consent king, right? Like, and something I mentioned in the last one is like, consent, like the joke with consent in like South Park is always like, oh, you gotta fill out this full consent form, blah blah blah, right? So the joke is always like, oh, it's really it takes you out of the mood when you have to ask which is so stupid. But like look at how Rentaro does this. I mean, walk through page by page here, right? So it's like, okay, I understand. Go, please.
Yeah, it was just it was basically another great example of like storytelling just from like dialogue with storytelling. I mean, it's like he carefully observes her reaction the whole time until he goes in for the kiss. When he does, it's just this very chaste little peck on the lips, and I mean, obviously that's even that is enough to make our girl like just come in her seat. But
we'll get to that. I want to.
He doesn't do anything crazy or like super breaking her boundaries. It's very gentle sort of like knock on the door kind of thing. Like,
oh yeah, he knocked on her door real hard and she opened. So again, love this so much because I mean, just incredible. Okay, so first it's like, okay, I understand you don't want to break any rules. I'll do it. Which already, again, if you're in like a salacious relationship as a teacher with your student,
that's a little crazy.
And the student is like, don't worry, girl. It'll be my fault. Put the blame on me. When the cops ask you what happened, you just tell them I made a move on you, okay?
Yeah, I mean, who's the adult in the relationship here? I mean, like, who's the experienced one in this relationship? Like, obviously Rentaro, but...
Okay, so he gets up and he does the I love you, go out with me, which again, crazy. Okay, imagine you're the fucking school counselor. You've been talking to this kid for a day, and and you know that he's here because he's dating like 30 women, and then boom, you're getting sucked in. You feel yourself getting sucked in. You're like, no, wait. You're feeling your fucking. You can visualize the life in prison in front of your eyes. And you're like, stop. And so he leans in. And she's like, this is well and truly over the line. A student and a teacher, that's crazy. No, we can't do that. And then, if you want me to stop, just say so and I will. And he's just getting closer. And then she admits it. She gives the game away immediately. No, it's not the issue, just the rules. So, I mean, right away, just saying, no, I don't want you to stop, but the rules. And then, again, this is what did it for me, truly. Because even at this moment when he says, if you want me to stop, say so and I will, I was worried he was just going to instantly go in for the kiss and not give her time. But the fact that, like, Nakamura and Nozawa, they know enough to give this, like, pause where you have a couple panels of them just waiting is so important. Because, like, I genuinely was, when I was reading it, I was worried it was going to be like, let me know, if you want to be stopped, if you want it to stop, say so. And then instant kiss, that's not good enough, right? But the fact that he waits for a second, and he studies her face, like you said, and he sees, and then boom. And it's gentle, and it's kind, and he gave her all the time in the world.
I bet she was expecting some crazy shit, some tongue action, but no, he just, he basically subverts expectation by just giving her that little Catholic schoolgirl kiss, or whatever. But
and again,
I'm sure after that happened, she probably introduce some tongue, but
Oh yeah, well we'll get to that in a second. But I want to say one more, like as I always say, this is the Nakamura difference. I mean, he is a man. I would love to meet this man because like Nakamura.
I got just a quick interview. This moment was hilarious on Backtrack Reaction. Like he basically gave like an unintentional JOI countdown, and if you don't know what that is, you're too young to know. So I'll just.
I don't know what that is, and I'm 31, so please tell me.
Okay, JOI is a porn category. Stands for jerk off instructions. And he basically said like he basically came back to the page. He's like, I'll give you like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he moved on to the next page. It's like, oh my god.
I see. Wow, yeah, no, I've never heard of that. Trust me, I've heard of a lot of deep lore ones.
Decently popular category on like on the Pornhub, the
that's
Pornhub,
why it just says
other.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, another sort of a blue Twitch as they sometimes refer to on
I'm gonna
Twitch,
say
they can't say it.
The dweebiest shit I've ever said in my life. I really don't watch real porn. Like I almost exclusively jerk off to like lewd art and like.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's a lot more common in like, especially nowadays. It's a lot more common in like VTubers who are doing like asthma stuff. So
Project Melody's Chatterbait streams are a constant go-to for me. Oh my god. Woo, man. She tried out one. It was like a clit sucker. You know the one I'm talking about?
Well, probably not the one, but
you're not.
I do know what clit suckers are.
Well,
man.
It was some kind of clit sucker, and like I love this one because she was like surprised at how much it made her come. And there's a moment where she's like, you can hear her surprise, and she's like looking at the thing, and I don't know, it has like kind of like a little. It's like there's like a cup on the end of it with like a thing that like simulates licking your clit. Can you visualize this? And
I've seen the type of toy. But
so she took it out of her when she was done, and she was like, "Oh, this thing is filled with my juices." And like the way she worded it was like it's like literally there was like standing liquid from her pussy in the thing. Oh my god. Excellent stuff. Sorry in the chat if this makes you uncomfortable, but yeah, you know the channel. You know the channel you're at, I assume. No, actually, I looked at the viewers. They're up more. So
yes, the horny talk brings it.
We're talking about clit suckers. All right, so
yeah, Rentaro is a certified clit sucker. Well, he will.
One day he will be. Yep. Yeah. And that's funny. I'm glad you mentioned that because there's something I wanted to mention that I talked about in the previous video about him waiting until a certain point to fuck them, and we'll get into that. But one thing I gotta mention is that there's many little throb sound effects, and one of them is directly over her pussy. And is that just to censor it? Probably. But I also think that indicates that there's some throbbing happening there, and I think that's important.
Double duty.
And then of course we get to the leg lock. We get to the
this back we get confirmed that she is indeed 27, which is like real great. I mean, as a 27-year-old man myself, I'm kind of like, oh my god. I mean, I'm a
it should have been me, Rios, over here.
I'm a responsible, rule-following adult.
Rios is over here like I could have taught her to. I mean, genuinely, you could have taught her to break the rules.
I mean, it's true. Like I've mentioned that I have a thing for evil women, but I also have a thing for strict as fuck, but not authoritarian women. You know. I mean, maybe I just have a thing for women, but I don't know. In any case, I'm definitely a fan of that trope of like the strict woman learns how to let loose kind of thing.
Rios is what we call gay for women.
Yeah.
Oh man. So no, I mean, there's just a lot to say about this leg lock moment. So one thing I mentioned was she's doing I'm sure you've all seen the memes of like I don't want it unless my back looks like this, right? Like the sex ain't good unless I have fucking like scars on my back.
Like so I mean, cat scratch marks. Like I wouldn't look like I was attacked by a cougar and not a cougar.
And there's just no other way to say it. I maybe you might say I'm jumping to conclusions here, but when you leg lock like that as a woman, it's basically
I can see your legs trembling and everything, like the tremble lines is like
leg locking is, in my opinion, okay, there's other ways to do leg locking, but when you leg lock like that, it's like I think it's like a natural biological response to just suck the dick in deeper to you. All right, her womb is doing the thinking right now. I don't care what anyone says. That's what's happening.
Following the laws of her instincts. Yeah. I mean, reproduction is just one of the rules of nature for the continued existence of life. Like,
facts.
There's nothing crazy about that.
Yeah. What? Hold it real quick. We'll get back to that in a second. We have some money from Mela here. Rentaro the Clit Slayer. One day.
True.
He is the man of sex. Richmond responds to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's doing all kinds of, just like he studied romance. I'm sure he's studying all kinds of sexual techniques to make his girlfriend see stars and shit.
Oh, and Moonlight is here, and he came in on the leg lock. Yes, yeah. If your girlfriend ain't seeing stars, what do you do?
Came to the leg lock.
Yeah. And then Scott Days with two more dollars. You guys are so funny, and Rios got caught. I don't know what he's referring to. Got caught with what? The jerk off instructions?
I guess I'm not getting caught. This is not a secret. I'm not like super like out with it. But I mean, I'm not like I do consume. I mean, as an erotic artist, I kind of have to study the material. And when I'm studying it, why shouldn't I do a little self gratification on top of it? It's like
yeah, that's the best kind of studying. I genuinely agree with that, by the way, because like the meme for years has been I watch porn for the plot, but I actually do. That I am the guy.
I literally am like studying. I'm literally like breaking down. Like, okay, what are they doing? Like, what's the performer doing? Like, why are they doing this over that? And well, why is that so hot? Like, I am.
Well, it's the same way that there are people that watch movies. I'm sorry. I hope it didn't cut you off to something important.
No.
Okay. It's the same way that there are people that watch movies that are just there to like shut their brain off, fucking chug some popcorn and fucking like explosions on a screen. And then there are people that not to fucking knob slob myself, but like it's more fun to watch a movie for me when I'm like analyzing the thoughts of the person who made it. What's the message here? Oh, I love the direction. And looking up how does a dolly zoom work, because Severance used that a lot. I love that. It's so fun. So like that's one of the things I respect so much about Rios is he does that with lewd shit. There's and so many people like look at lewd shit and think it's just like a cheap carnalistic thing to get your nut off and go on, but like there's so many artful people. I mean, look at the famous one.
That's one of the pushing back against that idea is one of the big motivators for me making art. It's like, bro, porn is just another art form. I mean, yeah, I'll admit our society does do a really good job of completely like diluting and
contentifying.
Yeah, well, no, not even contentifying. More just ruining it basically. Because I mean, most everything in our society is contentified. Like, there's nothing in this capitalist hellhole that we call society. There's nothing that is not contentified. But like porn is like very it's very much like a cultural ghetto where it's like not allowed to like explore different things. Like, it's very much like you have to do this thing. You're not allowed to like do anything that isn't sexually appealing to like straight men or whatever, or it has to be like these very specific like tropes. Like it's gotta be like the blowjob has to happen, and then there's gotta be like this, and gotta be like, and
the ones that are just like so formulaic.
Especially like the mainstream big budget like studio pornography.
I can't handle it, bro. To me, it's the fake ass moans. Listen, the problem is when you've fucked women like I have, you can very easily discern a real moan from a fake moan. And like most porn, they're like, and it's like, shut up. It instantly softens. It's like, I'm soft as cake. You've ruined it.
I'm inverting. My penis is inverting. I'm getting an consensual transition.
Damn, some people would pay good money for that. Okay, so all that to say, this, I mean, like, she went from 0 to 100, and I assume, there will be aspects of her character that'll be a little bit like Launch from Dragon Ball, where she's kind of going back and forth, but my hope and assumption as to how Nakamura is going to handle this is going to be a nice medium middle ground where like she still feels like a real person. I think so. Like, for example, we see this at the end of the chapter where she's like, now when she tells people to not run in the halls, she's a little bit more like, oh, don't do that, right? And what I like about that is it's not...
one thing that came up a little in the Backtrack video was like, we don't know when that point in time happened. Like, for all we know, that might be right when she left after leg locking Rentaro. I mean, we haven't seen yet.
She hasn't met them yet. Yeah.
We haven't seen it how. Yeah, like you mentioned, we haven't seen it exactly how, like Nakamura, Nozawa are gonna play
the ship name of Nakamura and Nozawa.
yeah. How they're gonna play her character, and I think unfortunately we're not gonna see for another week or so, because I think next week is a break week.
No, what?
Yeah, that's what I heard on. That's what I heard.
Tuesday. Confirm or deny, please. Yep. Okay. So. Point being, what I want to say real quick though is, with her, I'm liking what I'm seeing here, because like, I think a lesser way to write this would to have her be totally like Launch from Dragon Ball, where she would kind of still be like, hey, don't break the rules and super strict, but then like on a dime it flips to 100% the other direction, right? What I'm liking from what I'm seeing at the end here is, to me, it seems like she's kind of merging into more of a medium ground where she's still, to her core, she respects rules, she thinks it's important, but now she's kind of like, oh, and yet I understand the appeal, right? Like, I think now she gets it. Like, when she sees Kusari running in the halls, she's like, you shouldn't do that. But internally, she's like, but I get it. I mean, like, if she feels the same way I felt when I broke a rule, I can't blame her.
She feels horny. She feels horny like I did when I break a rule.
Well, excitement. I meant, like, general excitement. But
yeah.
God, dude, nothing gets me going like running in the halls. Like, oh!
Just breaking the rules by running in the halls. It reminds me of that, what was it? The Margaret Thatcher anecdote about how she would run in the fields naked or whatever.
Tuesday has confirmed that we do have a break week. They said, funny you'd ask me to confirm it. It's because I know you'll know for sure. Because it's like your second job to fucking translate. God damn it, bro! We fucking fuck up our recording and then we don't even have like next week to recover. We gotta like put out a video or something. We gotta like, what can we... Like the algorithm.
We have that Carne.
The judge game, the Carne Ace Attorney game.
Ace Attorney. Yes, I could not remember the name.
You know, that's the next.
We can do that.
The next thing to test is if my computer can handle playing a game and streaming at the same time.
Okay, that might be the break moment. It's like, okay, let me stream that one.
I think that'd be down if you can figure out how to manage audio levels. I say, as I forgot to put your audio in this.
I mean, during one of my art streams on our channel, we figured out how to get your audio sounding decent on stream.
Yeah, it was mostly like, hey, wait, this is off topic. Either way, I'm liking what I'm seeing. To respond to the couple people that I saw, thinking like, oh well, she seems more like too simple to me, is what I saw a couple people, mostly Thief of RPG in our Discord saying, and like. My response to that is, again, like, I feel like there's two types of people that are looking for two different types of things in this series, right? Like, some people love the wacky, the like, oh, I want this shit as wacky as possible. And, like, those people are gonna like your Hasuas. To me, I like this, I'm kind of a fickle bitch. I really like the perfect middle ground, because if they're too normal, they fall into background characters in JJK status for me, which is like
they get killed off like immediately.
Well, there was a bunch of like Miwa, for example, right? I found Miwa really cute, but I couldn't tell you a thing about her because she's just like there, I don't know all their characters just kind of felt like random like businessmen you'd meet on the street, with the exception of a handful, right? Like Gojo was interesting to me. Who else did I like? Oh, my besto friendo guy, Toto. He's great, right? But most.
I mean, to be fair, was I don't remember the blonde guy's name who was like a perfect businessman. He was pretty cool. Despite being,
I did like him.
You're like archetypal businessman. Like if I'm gonna do overtime, you better pay my ass.
Yeah,
that poor man did not.
There are two wolves inside of me, Richmond. Yes, but it's my favorite. It's just the perfect way introduced. Richmond is my lore expert. Whenever I get dementia and I forget about my life, I'll be like, Richmond, remind me of my wife. So what was I saying again? You gotta help me. I got
JJK.
Yes. Okay.
An example of. Certain types of character.
Too simple, right? Yeah.
Diversity.
Or even like, I remember another go-to for me is like Endeavor from My Hero. People were like, wow, he's so well written. And I was like, he just kind of feels like an abusive dad to me. And I that's fine, I guess. But like when I read a story, I do kind of want like a touch of wacky, right? That's one of the reasons One Piece is one of my favorites, because he can give you really like deep characters, but they have like as window dressing, they have a bit of wacky to differentiate them from
a bit of spice. Yes. Not too much. Just enough to
go ahead. No, I'm sorry, go
ahead. But just enough to, and then, like for you, Hasa would be someone who they not gonna pour a little too much spice on you. You actually drop the spice and you're like, oh, how do I make this work?
Yeah, she feels like writing is a delicate balancing act, I think, and it feels to me so far that Hasua. Okay, here I'll say it this way, right? Like a lot of times you have people. There's inevitably, like, as sure as the sun will shine, you go into a 100 girlfriends discussion forum or a Reddit or Discord or anything, and like you're gonna have people being like, what if we got a vampire girlfriend? What if we got a robot girlfriend? An alien girlfriend? And it's like, that sounds fun and all until you stop and think for like 2 seconds that would become their entire character, right? Like you start to kind of find
I mean, if Nakamura screws up, yes, but
true, but I think like it's likely that those characters would become more about what they are rather than who they are. You know what I mean? So, like, as of now, when I think of Hasu, I think of what she is over who she is as a person. I think, oh, she's the detective girl who likes smelling things, right? That's not like, if you ask someone to describe your mother, right? You wouldn't be like, oh, she likes watching Real Housewives. No, you'd be like, oh, she's kind, compassionate. She, you know, like there's different layers, right? You know what I mean? And like, so to me, like with this one here that I still haven't remembered the name of, help me again. Kimari, yes, Kimimari. Did I say it wrong?
You said it right the first time. I thought you were joking.
No, it's gonna take me a second to remember her name.
It's Kimari.
Kimari, okay.
I mean, I guess as a little mnemonic to help it means like decision, or like, you know, like making it like an official kind of decision in That's Japanese, so like very judge motif again.
I will get there. It's just like all of them. But anyway, she feels so like grounded as a real person, but it's wacky enough where she doesn't blend into the background as like.
So in the comments it said something that was there. Emperor Sephiroth the two, just something hilarious. I almost I had to like I almost laughed on Jim. I had to like.
Who's that? That fucking lewd artist that is constantly drawing. Is it like Thornberry or something? Or?
It's like Hornelstein or something like that.
So like, there's a guy in our NSFW Discord channel. Someone, I think it's Thief of RPG, sends them a lot. Like, there's this one artist who constantly is drawing Rentaro doing either threesomes or foursomes, and that's a great combo. Like her leg locking while Hasu is just like sniffing, like
who will win, the strongest sniffer in history or the strongest leg locker of today, or some shit like that. Insane
too how different these two the most recent girls are. I mean, it makes sense. Like as an author, if I introduced like, okay, this one is like a schoolgirl and like really on the wacky end. Now I'm gonna introduce an adult who's a bit more on the like sane end. But I don't know. I guess she's really hitting the buttons for me because she's not so normal that she's boring. And like another great example of this is Kishika. She fits in the Kishika mold for me, where like she feels like a real person, but she has that one wacky thing that helps my stupid monkey brain remember which one she is out of the 30.
Yeah.
And that's I'll finish off by saying this because I'm getting into Earl Echo territory, I can tell. Nakamura and Nozawa have been really, really good for the most part about because like that was a worry when I first started the series. I was like, how is he going to have 100 of these girls and not either because it's such a balancing act, either you're going to have them all blend into each other, like that problem happened to me with Komi, where I just was like, who are half these fucking people? Or B, you're going to try so hard to make them stand outish that they're all going to feel like caricatures, right? And he has done such a good job, with the exception of, I think, the only ones I can think of that feel a little like spin the wheel characters to me are Number Girl and Hasu at the moment.
I was noticing your comments about Hasu were very reminiscent of the comments on Sue. I'm like, well, I guess they're two peas in the pod. They're like similar. I can agree they do have some element of like spin the wheel character design, go sort of energy, but yeah.
I guess I don't know. I mean, do you? And you know, I it's not like, please don't agree with me just to agree with me. Like I want your real feelings on this. Like, do you feel what I'm saying about Hasu? Because like Hasu has been a.
I mean, I can understand. Like I don't see any like logical contradiction in what you're saying. I don't.
How do you feel personally about Hasu?
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is one of the questions hard for me to answer. I don't know what is my opinion on it. Like I can explain a lot about Hasu and like
how do
like
you feel? Right? I'm on the therapist couch right now.
Yeah, that's questions always kind of hard for me to answer. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, she's cool, I guess. This is basically it's hard for me to have more. You know,
Sue hate detected. Someone just said they came in.
Yeah. The Geiger counter is thinking, but yeah, it's often hard for me to have more nuanced opinions than just I like it or I don't like it. But I don't know, like Hasu. I mean, she's got. I mean, she is definitely as a new character, she has a lot of potential going for her. But now I'm just describing.
That's the thing. I don't even think like with this character, with a lot of the characters, I see the.
Well, I mean,
I see the
anything
potential.
Okay, well, yeah, that's.
I don't see the potential for Hasu, but I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Yeah, I do
Someone
agree with that.
explain it to me.
Like, I do feel like Hasu does feel a little bit like there's not a lot of like easy to like. Based on the elements we have right now, it's not easy to sort of extrapolate for that. But I mean, obviously, Nakamura can always add new elements to the character. Like he could bring up, he could reveal new information about her past, or give her some new like a thing to do that sort of draws out unexplored elements of her character. So I mean, in that sense, there is a lot of, as with all the girlfriend, there's a lot of potential.
I think it's very possible that she goes down the same path as Uto for me, because again, like I had the same issue with Uto when she first showed up. I was like, okay, like, because, to kind of try to align with my values of, like, I don't want a girl who is more about what she is than who she is. When Uto first showed up, it felt a little like window dressing, right? Like, oh, she's the barred one. But then we kind of clocked it back, and it became more of a deep, spiritual, emotional reason she was wearing that. You know what I mean? And yes, we have that for Hasu. I understand. It does feel a little more shallow to me. I don't know if that's bias. It feels a little bit more like, oh, the one time I wasn't made fun of for being stupid, so I guess I'll make this my whole character arc. I don't know.
I mean, that's not. I mean, okay, I don't really have.
I kind of see it. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, my only argument is more like that's not like that's not like an how to phrase, like that's not like that's not like a weird or unusual sort of like arc for a person to go down. Like a lot of people,
right?
Especially I think
she's
someone
like
Hasu,
Birdly from fucking Deltarune. I just realized that's why I don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they sometimes kind of feel dumb for whatever reason. Maybe they just haven't had a chance to like really shine, or maybe they grew up among people kind of like who outshined them or belittled them for not being able to fit the mold of their environment. But then when they find that one thing that they're good at, that people like praise them for, like I'm gonna stick to this thing. I'm not gonna like try to explore anything else, because that might ruin this thing that I already have.
That did make her better for sure. Like that took her up a lot. I'm so conflicted, because I love the idea of a degenerate smell fetish girl. But I really, that element I love. It feels like, but obviously you would
very ambivalent feelings. I see. Yeah.
You would have to have something other than that. But I guess I just don't like what he chose. I don't like the detective on top of that. The detective thing is throwing me the fuck off. I'm hoping that I get it at some point. It does not jiving with me. But at some point,
because I was explaining. I guess like I can kind of roll that detective thing in there, because like I mean it is random, but that can be seen as just because that was just like she has no connection to it. It's just the thing that she's holding on to like get a sense of self-worth. It could have been anything.
You know what'll help?
It could have been like a police dog or something, and she would have been a police girl if that had been how the cookie had crumbled.
Hasu working in an airport, smelling out the cocaine in the fucking suitcases.
Hurry, I can smell your contraband. You're not going to get away with that.
But I think what I need to happen for her is the same thing that happened for Uto from Moonlight. Moonlight had talked about in our video, once he saw that Uto could not dress like the bard, right? Could like go on dates and be in casual outfits, and it became pretty clear like, oh no, I'm not like delusional like most chunbyos, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah, I'm not like other chunbyos. Yeah. I'm actually just pretending.
Well, the fact that she's aware, it's just like fun for her. You know what I mean? And that makes it so much better than, no, I'm actually like a psychopath, and I really do think I'm a bard. So like, I know that she's aware that we've seen that element, but now I want to see her on a handful of casual dates, and I want to see that she's not always in detective mode. I want to see her just have other interests, be a human, do things. That's what I need to see. And I'm not like, this isn't a blaming her thing yet. She's still brand new. I'm just saying what I want to see from her. That's where I'm at. But yeah,
I definitely would like to see. I mean, there's a lot of what's the word, like rich potential there for there to be some drama and trying to get her to like break free. Because I mean, I do, having talked about it, I do think there is some what's the word, like some, I guess, hint there, like that her detective thing is like a real crutch for her. And it's like getting her to try something else, or just to relinquish her that's holding that persona. That could be a really interesting arc. But I mean, yeah, I think now we've been
back to the chapter.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Go ahead and check your notes. I'm sure there's more you want to discuss. I went through my main points, but you go ahead here. You take the floor. Oh, you want to talk about her flashback a little bit?
Oh yeah, we can do that too.
Very cute.
I mean, yes.
And like,
she's been rocking that like real high ass middle part since she was like a fetus. It seems.
Yeah, that's crazy. I could never imagine doing that because my hair's too short to make it work. Oh, I just realized her hair is opposite Rentero's hair. Rentero has no middle part. We're fucking big strip of hair right down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, her design is. I mean, her design is so freaking symmetrical, like very, very Death the Kid-esque from Soul Eater. Like,
ooh.
I mean, you have similarly rigid character, but
she's a triangle character for sure, and I imagine she'll become a little bit of a circle whenever she's breaking rules.
I mean, her head is kind of a circle with the hair, like. Yeah, it's like a circle composed of triangles. Very interesting.
Deep. But yeah, so let's talk about her parents, right? Her parents being a cop and a judge is fucking crazy.
I bring up another thing that I mentioned in the apocryphal recording, like very, very Miko Ino from Kaguya-sama Loves War-esque, like very. I mean, obviously, Red didn't know about it, so
I watched up to the episode where there's a misunderstanding about them fucking their cousin or something. Or was it their brother? Yeah, we've been doing it since we were kids. What? And that was crazy. Now, see, that's a show I'll give props to. That show felt like it had well-written comedy, right? A lot of the shows when I watch them, you know, like, again, like the most recent example is the Tomo-chan as a girl or whatever. It's like, okay, these jokes are like not landing, and maybe that's my fault for watching a show that's meant for 15-year-olds, but it's possible, right? I mean, although I do believe in the fact that, like, you know, kids should get good media too, right? I mean, technically, like, Spider-Verse is made for kids, but that shit is like one of the most emotionally moving things I've ever seen. So
and Kaguya-sama definitely, like, the first season is definitely the most comedy focused, but then it's very smoothly transitions and being gradually more dramatic, and like, I mean, eventually you start getting some incredibly deep like psychological drama about how like Kaguya is like feels like shit because he was raised to be like a, you know, like a perfect like businesswoman, totally cold and callous. He's like, how could anyone love me when I'm such an evil woman? And our boy Miyuki is like, I was abandoned for being, you know, not good enough, so I constantly have this feeling of inferiority. I'm trying to, you know, overcome, and they have to sort of realize that sort of stuff doesn't matter.
It looked well written. It felt, you could almost, I don't know, maybe
and it's so painful to see the author of that story, Akasaka, do that and then go on to write fucking Oshinoko, and it's, you know, it started great, you know, that like that basically feature length film of the first episode was really great, and I mean, even the first season of Oshinoko was not bad. But
did he get into like a run, you think? Kind of just like a formula, and then?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, from what I've heard, it's more like he just kind of got tired of the story and was like, I'm just gonna finish and move on to the next thing. And it's like, buddy, like, at least try. Like, I mean, I get being tired of the story, but at least, you know, try to finish it on a good note. But yeah.
To be fair, Richmond said Red didn't like Tomo-chan as a girl. That's sad. I only watched like 1.5 episodes. I'm willing to give it more. If someone tells me that it gets way better, I will give it another shot. To me, it just and this is what I was gonna say, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have this experience too, but it feels to me like you can jump into something and almost instantly kind of get a vibe for the writing. Right? Like, just like, how is this writing? Is it talking to you at a surface level, or is there like depth and subtext? You know what I mean? And like, even as silly as 100 Girlfriends was, like, within the first couple episodes, it was like very clear to me that there was like intelligence to the humor, right? Like, even before Shizuka, there wasn't a lot of like drama, but I was like, wow, the humor is like really clever and subversive, and like it's like, it's just intelligent humor. It's humor that respects the intelligence of its reader, you know. And then you watch something, you know, like Tomo or Rent a Girlfriend, and the humor is so surface level. It's like, the joke is that boobs. The joke is
not
that,
even just the humor, like the decisions that they make, like to have Rentaro consider like two timing like Hakari and Kari, and then choose not to do it. That says a lot about the kind of story that we're going to be getting.
Thank you for mentioning that. I've said that so often, and I forgot to say it this time. Yes, I mean that was a huge moment for me. I will never forget when he's contemplating doing the classic thing where it's like, I'll date both of them, but keep it a secret. And I'm just like, oh no, here we go. I literally was about to turn it off. I was like, okay, if that's the way it goes, I have seen that so much and I hate it. And like just the hard switch, like as if Nakamura is like taking shots at stories like that. That's so good.
Yeah,
such a good.
That'd be a great idea 20 years ago when the harem thing was still new. I would love to have seen someone try to play musical chairs with 100 women.
There's no way
for knowing about each other. But yeah, after
he would have to start
20, after 20 to 30 years of seeing that story over and over and over and over again, yeah, it's kind of like, please, just anything different is welcome. Yeah.
In order for that to work, he would have to start basically like telling these girls, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be out in vacation with my family for a week, and that's because he'd have to cycle through and spend like a day with each or half a day maybe with each of them. So we'd have to come up with a reason for why they can't hang out for at least a couple days. Too much.
Yeah.
But yeah. So did you have anything else to say about her flashback or her upbringing, stuff like that?
I mean,
I can say
I do have some more things because I'm also reminded of like the main character from Monogatari also has like police parents, and that's like a big. It's not revealed for a while, but it does make a lot of things make sense in terms of like his character. I mean, I guess I don't know, just more parallels with other characters. You have like I don't know what you call it. Like I guess like parents who are like some sort of authority or like a rule bearer type person, like standard bearer, whatever, for society. I don't know. I mean, like it's interesting. Like this is kind of a common character archetype, especially in I guess anime. I mean, I haven't read enough Western stuff to know.
No, you're right. I mean, I think of like, my first anime of all time, other than the obvious Dragon Ball Z, right? But like my first anime when I knew it was anime was Bleach. And I'm thinking of like the main villain for like the first 60 episodes of Bleach is Byakuya Kuchiki. And he was that guy to a T. I mean, literally, like that was like rules must be followed, blah blah blah. And his whole thing was, I mean, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, remarkably similar to this girl, actually, because like his thing was his parents raised him that way, and he had a great respect for them, and he was nobility and blah blah blah. And there was a moment where he had to break a big rule, which was basically like he ended up like his, if I remember correctly, his wife, I might be misremembering, but his wife he married this like woman from the slums and like brought her into nobility. But she had abandoned her little sister, basically pulled a like what happened to May, where she had to just like drop her little sister like randomly in the slums because she couldn't like afford to feed her, which by the way, still having to eat in the afterlife and still having poverty in the afterlife. Crazy. Kubo really could have made like an interesting statement about that, but he
you can't escape, even in death, you can't escape class struggle.
God, yeah, an intelligent author would have done that. Kubo was listen. I loved Bleach.
Yeah, he was great.
Art, phenomenal.
Yeah,
battles, phenomenal.
Sense.
Fashion, phenomenal. Yeah. The battle system, the powers, Bankai, legendary.
God, yes. But
like,
I mean, it's crazy for him to have like the Iran card be like Spanish themed and the Quincy's like German thing. Like that. I mean, that's a real. Like most Japanese artists do not go that hard in like other cultures.
That's
like,
true. Yeah, and he would like visit. He would visit places and then make his next arc like themed around that. Like that was why he did like Quincy's as like German as well. But like all that to say, one last thing about Kubo.
Plot wise, he's not. Yeah, he just kept repeating the same after he had the Rukia rescue arc. He was like, I'm just gonna do that. Like, what if I did that again?
Over again. The rescue arc. He loved it. No, I remember what I was gonna say though. Is he was really great at the power-up system, right? Like the so you're coming off
the
of like
Bankai, Shikai, and all that.
But even beyond that, Iran cars and visors, I thought were such a clever concept because like essentially, that's kind of an issue when you're doing a shonen. You got to think about how are you going to do power creep, right? So like you're coming off of Dragon Ball Z. This is like the early 2000s. Dragon Ball Z's heyday is coming to an end. And okay, what did they do? They did Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. We gotta clever it up a little bit. So he has, you have a Zanpakuto as a Soul Reaper, and you have Shikai and Bankai. But then we get to the end of that arc. We've kind of played out Bankai's. What's the next step? And the way Eisen describes it is like, because he basically said, like, Eisen's whole thing was like, I found that there was a hard limit to how strong you could get unless you did this one thing. And that one thing was breaking down the boundaries between a Hollow and a Soul Reaper, right? So these two things are like yin-yang. You break the wall in between, you can gain exponentially more power. So that's what, so Arankars are Hollows that have begun to break their mask off of it and regain humanity. And Vizards are Soul Reapers that have begun to hollowify and put hollow into them. And that process of breaking that wall in half allows them to just exponentially gain power. And I just thought that was such a clever way.
I was too young to really appreciate just how innovative of like a thing that crazy it was to like take these two, these two opposing, they've been set as opposing forces and, make two like basically subclasses, and they're like a mixture of the two. Like, start out with one and move towards the other, and start out with the other and move towards the first. I mean, that was a real.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Scott Days has given $2, and he's asking us to go to chapter 118. And he's
I was gonna mention this on my own Scott Days, because I saw on once again on Backtrack Reacts thing, but like that there's a case we made that we saw Miss Kimari in a background shot of that Natty versus the like other teacher chapter.
Let me go take a look.
So, yeah.
118.
I mean, it looks a lot like her.
Oh man,
and
that
maybe
would be
on page
4. He says page 4.
Yep.
Oh, Uto, my darling, my sweet.
Yeah. I think this is where Uto says the maybe so. Maybe. Yeah, perhaps so. Perhaps no. I love it. But anyway, yeah.
Maybe.
So what we
another Japanese teacher that has been here longer than I. Now, when she says Japanese teacher, does she mean she teaches Japanese or just a teacher who is Japanese?
Wait.
She says the truth is another Japanese teacher that has been here longer than I. She told me that I will have a bad influence on.
Oh no. The person, the potential candidate for Kimari's at the bottom of page 4.
Oh,
like,
it's not here.
Sitting. It's on that page, but it's at the bottom of page 4. She's wearing like a sweater in the bed.
Am I stupid? Oh, in
like
the background there.
Yeah.
Oh, so not this original. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. The consensus people came to was it's probably like when that character was drawn, but it probably was not supposed to be the 33rd girlfriend Kimari we're talking about. More like probably Nakamura went back later. He's like, I'm gonna go try and find. Because Nozawa was constantly doing these over the top great, these over the top great designs. I'm just gonna go and pluck one from like 100 tabs.
You're gonna get that remember that fucking girl in the background that looked like a VTuber to you? She's gonna be a girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the great synergies you get when you have two great artist creators like Nakamura and Nozawa. They can just do this sort of thing. Like Nozawa's constantly putting out great character designs, and Nakamura just go back and pluck some character out and like.
Guys, I just keep thinking about when she meets everyone next chapter. We that's what we haven't talked about, dude. I don't think I've been this excited for a meet the family chapter in so long. I mean, this is gonna be insane. Like, so again, she doesn't know about the staff element, so she's she's gonna learn that her boss, the superintendent, isn't on this. Natty, Momoha, and by the way, I have to assume that her dynamic with Natty and Momoha has been very like, oh my god, I fucking hate these two. And I just can't wait to see that. Oops, we've fallen in love with the same boy. That's crazy.
Yeah, how are we gonna make this one fit the rules, huh? Or he's gonna have to accept that sometimes breaking the rules really is where it's at.
Something that we talked about in our defunct review, but we haven't had a chance to talk about here yet, and I assume you want to, is Rentaro's like philosophy and like how much like you enjoyed a lot of the stuff he said. Like I think you really enjoyed the one about like. I understand teaching children like this, but once you kind of know how rules work and how society works, as long as you're not hurting someone.
Actually expounded a lot on that one last time I was putting together my things. But yeah, I mean that idea kind of reminds me of this like Napoleon Bonaparte quote that goes something like, one must indeed be ignorant of the methods of genius to suppose that it allows itself to be cramped by forms. Forms are for mediocrity. Now, that's kind of a harsh sentiment,
Guys, my heart goes. I'm going awooga. My heart goes pump, pump, pump when he starts quoting big fancy quotes. I love it.
Yeah, like the gist of it is the same. You hear a lot in like art circles where it's like, you know, like the rules are meant to be broken. Like once you learn the rules, but then once you like internalize them, then you can break the rules. And it's like, you know, once you understand the spirit of the law, you can kind of do away with the letter of the law and just kind of like, you know, like kind of like just build things, you know, sort of, you know, build things that you were not taught to do initially, but you know how to, you know, combine the elements that you've been given to make these sort of novel constructions. And that's kind of, you know, that's basically what Rentaro was telling her to do. Like once you, like, you know, once you're an adult, and you know you've learned like how, you know, we give kids very simple rules, like, you know, don't do this, don't do that. But you know, once they learn, hopefully, you know, as we grow up, we learn like the difference between legal and moral, and start to like, you know, like look at things in more complicated like perspectives or whatever. But
it is funny that we're having this conversation in the context of a 27-year-old woman who's dating a high schooler.
Yeah, you know, maybe that law shouldn't be like transgressed.
You know, that law actually seems a little reasonable to me.
yeah.
But you know, we all have to start somewhere, Miss Morikita. So do your thing. Oh, yeah, I remember. I was going to mention this. So, I mentioned that, you know, for a long time, it took me a while to jive with Rentaro's, like, overboard purity about, like, him not wanting to have sex with some of the girls that are clearly willing and really, really want to, right? But to me, it's starting to become increasingly clear, and I've said this before, but, like, I just think it's warrants repeating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is, I mean, no, I know, he's a very intelligent boy, and he's aware of the taboo-ness of the age differences in this relationship, and I genuinely think that that's part of the reason why he wants to wait to do anything beyond like kissing and like dates with them, because he doesn't want anyone to get in trouble. He doesn't want anyone to feel like coerced. He doesn't want to feel like there's any toxic element to this relationship, and he knows how important that is. So I genuinely can see Rentaro waiting for a moment where they're all maybe even like approaching like their upper 20s or 30s, where everyone's kind of in an age range where it wouldn't be weird, both morally or legally. And then like, okay, I feel comfortable with this now. Let's begin the orgy.
Yes.
And so, like, I
commence orgy there.
And Hasu is like, "Oh, it's gonna start smelling good in here."
Yeah, like Usa is like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna dive in." Like
Yo, swimming pool. Usa at the bottom of the orgy pile, just all these fluids dripping onto her.
I feel like I'm connecting with everyone.
Excellent. Yeah, no. So from that viewpoint, I actually do kind of get where Rentaro's coming from, because again, Rentaro discusses, you know, I think if you're an adult and you understand rules and the importance of rules, but you want to kind of bend some of them in line with your morals and you're not hurting anybody, then I'm for that. So I think, you know, applying that to Rentaro's morals, what are Rentaro's morals? Rentaro's morals are love above all else. But I think Rentaro understands the problematic nature of the vast age gaps. So Rentaro's morals are, I can fall in love with anyone because I love them spiritually as a person. I love who they are, like the neurons firing in their brain. I love that, right? The sex element is a cherry on top, and if that element is problematic, then fuck it, I'll wait. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think as much as it's a yikesy topic, I do think that Rentaro is someone who believes in the concept of, like, age is just a number, but not from a sex, but not from a sex perspective, right? I think he understands that it's a problem from a sex perspective, but if we're just entering a relationship where we love each other and care for each other, that should be okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's where he's at with it. It still wouldn't fly in real life, obviously.
Yes,
but
I was immediately imagining certain people of a certain political persuasion talking about child marriage laws and whatnot.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but obviously we know our boy Rentaro would not.
Rentaro is not, because the concern here would be Rentaro being taken advantage of, and it's pretty obvious that he's very well aware of himself. He's the most emotionally intelligent in terms of like love and relationships character in the universe. So he's in a pretty unique situation, but like I do like that distinction that Rentaro is a believer of love above all else. You know, I'm reminded of, you know, this is gonna get like pretty deep here, but like I as a high schooler, you know, I'm on the school bus. I was like a high schooler, and one of my neighbors was a middle schooler, and we became good friends. And like we hung out and we played video games, and you know, we were literally fucking neighbors, right? But I had people on that bus trying to tell me that was weird. And I was like, well, first of all, that feels like projection. Like, why do you think that's weird? Because he's my fucking neighbor, and we both like Nintendo games. So I go over and I play Nintendo with him. Is that fucking weird? Like, yeah, so, I don't know. So, like, I understand from that element of, like, you know, why can't, you know, we're all just people. And if we're hanging out and we like being with each other, that's fine. You know, and obviously Rentero's stretching that line. But I like,
yeah, we like kissing each other a little. You know,
yeah, I'm just
what's kissing between homies, you know?
Well, then that's a fascinating question, right? Because love, there is a lot of little lines there. And as a bisexual person, it becomes harder to distinguish between best friends and people you're in love with. And it's like, because best friendship is kind of a form of love. And it's like, So I think Rentero has all this like very new age hippie free love shit going around in his head. And we've seen his brain schematic. It's all love.
Yeah.
So, you know, but he's also emotionally intelligent enough to know that sex with that age gap would be weird. So I respect that. I used to make fun of him constantly for not plowing these women, but now I'm understanding that I get that's going to be the headcanon for me. Is that's why he's waiting. He wants to make it feel right morally and with everybody. So I like that.
He doesn't want there to be any possibility of like accusations of you know, impropriety or you know, problematic age gaps, this and that.
Let me just shout out a comment here because it's peak. Richmond, Hasua lapping up the fluids like a dog.
Whoa.
Oh,
I mean, she would.
And then a great timing for me to look at the chat. We just got $20 from Durofriend. Durofriend. Yeah. Screw the rules. I have money. What were the rules? Was there rules?
No, that's a classic Yu-Gi-Oh quote.
Oh, is it?
From I don't remember.
Thank God you're here. I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, what is the Kaiba? Is it Kaiba?
Yeah, Kaiba. Yep.
you just made the Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
That's how Hahari is like the foil to Kimari. She's like, Kimari's like the rules, but Hahari's like, screw the rules. I have money.
Yo! Oh my God, the character development potential right here, bro.
But we mentioned in the original one. One of the things we are most excited to see with this character is full adult, you know, group date chapters. None of the kids getting in the way and having they can be actually all drunk. They don't have to do any of that fake, like not drunk but totally drunk shit. They can do they can I guess drive. They can gamble. I guess I don't know, other things adults can do.
I want to get back to that. I don't want to skip by too because $20 is quite a lot. So I just really want to thank you so much, Dura friend. You are king. You're a Chad. I love you in a parasocial.
But no more of a Chad than the people who gave $2 or like $3.
Oh,
you know,
facts.
We're all
yes, of course.
Yeah. Like Rentaro, we see you all. We all love you equally, no matter
genuinely.
how much money you throw our way. You know.
Yeah, no, I guess it. Damn it, bro. There really is no winning because, like, I would feel guilty if I didn't mention him for long enough, given the amount of money. But I also don't want anyone to think that they're lesser. You're totally right. This is why, as a reminder, guys, we got shat on a lot in our early streams for the streams going for 7 hours, and that was because I made I made the attempt to read every single comment. If you've been here long enough, I try to respond to and read every single comment, both on our archived, like, normal reviews and live streams. I do my best, but we are getting to a point where in order to keep a flow going, I have to pick and choose, unfortunately. But we will definitely have a period of this stream at the end of this review where we just like hard respond to every, like, I can't scroll back and like look at everything, but we can have like a Q&A segment where we look at like as many as possible for sure. And we'll do that pretty soon here. But what were you saying, Reyes? Because I did want to respond to something. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Wait, oh my God.
Adult Hangout.
Yep.
So
I totally forgot.
I love the idea because I need these adults to sit down and they're like at a restaurant or whatever, or they're having a casual drink after school, you know, and they're just like, what are we in right now? Like, what happened to us? Like, but like, not in like they regret it way, but just like how did this happen? I want like a real talk between them where they sit down, they sober up like emotionally, right? Like they're not next to Rentero, so they're not like Owuga hard eyes, and they have a moment where they're like, they still love him. They love him, but they're like, this is crazy. Like that, I need that conversation with them where they're like, this is fucking nuts. Did any of you expect your lives to go this way when this year started?
I mean, lovely. I mean, even just one of them 2-page little vignettes, I would love to get something like that.
It would be great. And yeah, so I mean, next chapter we need her kind of confronting all the other staff members, because she's probably under the impression at the moment that she's the first staff member to fall victim. Yeah. You know, I imagine she thinks she's gonna, and like, I want to know how this chapter's. This is one of the first family intro chapters where I don't want it to just start with them on the roof already. I want him I want to see him walk her up those stairs and be like, okay, don't be nervous. I know. Because, like, I have to assume she's going to be a little fucking nervous. She's like, how is this going to work? I can't join your group. I'm a teacher. And he's like, don't worry. It's a lot more normal.
Yeah.
When you get up there, you'll understand. Like, that's what I want to see, her like nervously walking up these stairs and being like, oh my, because that's an element, right? I don't think she's just going to go back and forth between like, this is disgusting, there are rules we need to follow. I think she's going to be kind of in a nervous, it's essentially, I think it is going to be the dynamic of like, you're dating like a super sheltered religious girl and you're bringing her to her first like death metal concert that her parents told her would land her in hell, right? And she's like really excited but like nervous, and I think there's something really, really cute about that. I really do think she's going to go forward in life now with this new mentality of like, okay, I want to chase where this joy brings me. This is joy I've never felt in my life before, and I'm really happy about it, but I'm also very nervous because I've never done anything like this. And, you know, I've been in that situation with friends that are like, hey, I want you to try drinking alcohol for the first time. My first sip of alcohol was at the age of 27, you know? And I was shaky and nervous, too, because all I heard about it was it's poison, it's super bad for you. I was scared, you know? And one day I'll probably try weed, which I've never done before, you know? It's like, I know that makes me a square, a loser, but, yeah, so...
I never tried it either. My brother has, but I haven't.
Yeah.
My brother is the party animal. But,
ooh,
yeah,
I'll bring it out of you. When we're at Chicago, I better see you jumping up and down at that concert music.
I mean, I'll if you know the music brings out
if the bops are strong enough.
Yeah.
That's why I need to get a couple shots into you.
I mean, I don't know. I've never gotten like really drunk before.
I don't want you to get really drunk because you got to make it back to your airport.
yeah. I've drank enough that I've had like the fucking like streams of piss that come out, and you're like I didn't even know I had this much liquid in my body, but I never actually got like actual like drunk.
Hello, Kirby guy. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Basically, a daily life chapter where throughout the school, Rentaro is interacting with his teacher girlfriends. That would be cool.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
See, yeah. Because like, does he have? Remind me. Does he have classes with any of them? Like, is he in Natty's class? I can't remember. Or is that just the girls?
Well, yeah, she is. Yeah, Natty is. Like, I remember that's how.
Yes, right. That's how they met. Yeah. Okay. So is he only in Natty's?
I think Momoha and Kimari are both third year.
Oh, okay.
Teachers, so they're not gonna. Yeah. Ooh. And then obviously Hihari is she's just the superintendent or whatever. Yeah.
You know, the superintendent spends a lot of time with that one student. That's very weird.
Yeah, come to my office, Rentaro. Like, yeah, I imagine.
Over the intercom.
Like, what the hell is that Rentaro kid doing? Like, why is he always getting called to the office? Like,
I'm imagining a situation where, like, the journalist girl, like, finally... Well, actually, she knows. I forgot. She has the pictures. But, like, someone asks her, like... And the lie she comes up with is, like, well, actually, I'm personally tutoring Rentaro. I think he could be, like... the next like owner of my company, I don't know, something, right? Like I think he has potential, and everyone's like, "Wow, Rentaro! Like I didn't realize you were that smart." And he's like, "Yeah, you know."
Oh my lord!
It's like, do you remember? Okay, same dynamic in Spider-Man No Way Home, or one of the Marvel Spider-Mans, where Tony Stark personally visits Peter Parker, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm just mentoring him to work at Stark Industries."
Crazy.
God.
I was gonna say it's like being mentored by Elon Musk, but nowadays everyone, no one can even, no one in their right mind can even pretend that man is anything like Tony Stark. So unfortunately, there is no real life analog to that that storyline.
We used to. You could have been the real life Tony Stark, and then you had to hail Hitler.
Yeah.
His heart goes out
Tony
to
Stark.
us.
Tony Stark would happily punch a Nazi.
I'm sure he has. Go through the Marvel catalog.
The Red Skull people probably. Like, the Red Skull people they're just Nazis, but they couldn't call him that. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else?
I think the only thing I have left to say is just more like character design stuff. Like I mean, I mentioned that she's got the the religious housewife motif going on, the judge motif, but also like the sort of like farm field pattern on like her shoulder kind of gives like the air of like military like, shoulder boards where like you have like the like where you would normally put like the badges and stuff like that to show ranks. I mean, just more like motifs of like rigid structured organizations and environments that you.
When I first saw her face, I actually got like Orochimaru vibes for a second. She almost has like the snake face, right? And then it softens a little bit in the following panels, but it really struck me at first. I actually, it looks like a Botox job, like hard, you know what I mean? Like her skin's like really stretched out, but I assume that's, because of the rigid face, the frown lines, etc. Yeah.
And really interesting, you mentioned the same motif, like her hair bangs, they almost kind of look like a snake fang. Like if you like imagine like the crescent shape being like the fang, and then like the side part being like I guess the gland, the venom gland, the poison sword, and like I don't know, very. I mean, I'm not sure what that means, but I mean, just like I'm not sure if that's an intentional snake thing going on. I mean, I looked up like snake symbolism in like Japan, but they didn't really. I mean, they have like kind of like symbol of like kind of like rebirth and like
it's like a lot
protecting.
Of time, I see it as like. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. There was like a, like a direct match for like Kimaru's character. So
it doesn't really fit her because in every time I see snake stuff in anime, it's like shifty, betrayal,
Orochimaru type.
Yeah, exactly. Rich, okay, I'm gonna ask you about this, Rios, because like I keep seeing this and I just don't care. But like maybe he keeps mentioning it. Rad, you need to acknowledge the fact that this 213th chapter, 33rd girlfriend, 1/3.
Yeah, it's a numerology, like girlfriend numerology is becoming a thing.
Oh my god, this is like fucking astrology. Listen, I'm in the One Piece fandom. People do that with Oda all the time. They'll be like, guys, Gear 5th was introduced. If you reverse the numbers and flip them around, it's the same chapter that Gear 2nd was introduced. Do you think he planned for that? And I'm like, I guess that's cool. I don't really care. Like, cool, I guess.
It's trivia, basically. Like,
yeah.
Trivia's cool, but
No, I'm just fucking with you, Richmond. All of your comments are valuable. She a fish, Mela says.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that mouth shape is also carried by fish.
She blubbing on. Okay. Well, I guess is that because I probably will actually. This ended up being really good actually, so I probably will cut this and upload this as like the review in a traditional sense. I should probably do that, right?
Yeah. I think people will appreciate. Because I'm,
I when Richmond wants to rewatch it, it'll be easier right there.
I don't know how long we're going to be doing whatever it is we're doing after, I guess, the birthday stream.
We'll do a bit of not super long. We'll do a bit of a Q&A, and maybe we'll try out some guess the tier. It'll just be kind of like a wind down hangout. But I guess any final thoughts here at all that you can think of?
I love her.
I mean, she's S tier. We'll see if she falls in any way, but a lot of it's going to be the dynamic.
A really great way to finish off the first third of the girlfriends, and I'm looking forward to many more great designs and characters to come. Yeah.
What makes this so exciting to me too, even beyond just her as a girl, is it is kind of signaling what we've been hoping for, which is, and this is me grasping at straws, obviously, but it feels like a signaling of passage of time a little bit to me, because that's been one of my biggest things where it's like, does the school know? How far have the room? Is it out there? So now enough. She knows. And if she knows, other staff members should know. Right?
Yeah, we have been getting little. Like the most recent girlfriends have all had.
Right. Saki kind of heard about it. Yeah.
And Usa-chan was stalking them. So I mean, we've been getting some little bits and pieces. I mean, I'm sure Nakamura wants to like breadcrumb it and not just have it all. Avalanche out at once.
Yeah, and I'm assuming
the dam is starting to crack, basically.
Yeah, I think this is going to build up to a point where, for a while he can keep it under wraps by just zinging with the people that would otherwise stop it.
Yeah, but that's a crazy, Light in Death Note, Light Yagami dealt with his foes by killing them. In 100 Girlfriends, Rentaro deals with his foes by making them fall for him.
By rizzing them.
Yes.
Sometimes all someone needs is a good dicking. And notice I said someone. I didn't say all a woman. I didn't say all a woman needs. Sometimes all a man needs is a good dicking. It's just sometimes you just need a
non-binary pal.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and she knows that's coming. It'll take a while, but it's coming. So
she'll be coming, all right.
So yes, I can't wait for the rooftop chapter. Is going to go hard as fuck. I think the last thing I'll say is Rios had mentioned that the wording for the next chapter is, let me find it. It's everyone violates school regulations. So I think it was you that came up with the idea that, like, what if the next chapter is just like her breaking rules that in relation to the type of person that all the girls are.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, all right, we're going to set up a station where she gets to break a little rule at each station, and they're all related to one of the girls. So like she gets to Karumi, and it's like, all right, we're going to chew, or we're going to eat food, but like at your desk, like during a class.
Me is like, we're gonna do our makeup while driving. Like,
that's great. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have time. And my big core belief in the world is looking good. So I don't care. See, now that would be an example of endangering others, though. I think that's a rule that's
okay. We'll do it on the train. Like normally
yeah.
you wouldn't do that on the train while being watched by everyone. But
I think a better one would be doing it during class. I think like while the teacher's teaching.
I thought of that. I was like, that'd be boring. Like, we got to escalate.
Right. I mean, I'm imagining something else I said too is in the other review is like imagine Rentaro and her's first like solo date, and they just go to that they go to that crosswalk, and he's like, you know what we're gonna do, girl? She's like, no. He's like, no, and he's like, yeah,
you can't seriously be suggesting.
Yeah, and it's like, and they just
scandalous.
They're just like walking through, and like for Rentaro, it's just he's just walking normally, and then it cuts to her, and it's just like, oh my god, I feel
he's
so
twitching.
free. Oh man, and I don't even want like her like coming while she does it. That's fun and all. I don't even want it to always be like I'm coming when I break the rules.
Like an Iku
because
revamp. Like
then the fear would be that it'd just be that all the time. It doesn't like it can be like that sometimes, maybe for the more extreme rule breaks. But I like the idea that she's just really happy. It's just like super euphoric for her. You know what I mean? Like
like very freeing. I mean, very natty-esque.
Yeah, there's something really sweet about that. Like, and there's also, I mean, if you're looking into where does this fit into the like, because for a while when I read 100 Girlfriends, I thought that the idea was he was just gonna like hit every hentai trope basically, or every romance trope, and so this one it feels to me like the allure of like being a bad influence, like you get to be the one to ruin her, right?
Oh damn.
Well, you know what I mean. I don't mean sexually. To clarify, I'm not talking about like I'm gonna loosen that thing up.
You get to corrupt her.
No, yeah, like you get to be
like you tag corruption. Like
yes, perfect. Yeah, exactly. There is people like that. That's a tag for a reason. So like the idea of kind of taking like the sheltered religious girl and being like, we're gonna go out on the street together and like we're gonna go to like a show, and then we're gonna get super drunk and wasted, and then we're gonna go and like spray paint the side of a building. I don't know, whatever people are into. I'm not a bad boy enough to know.
Whatever the crazy kids are into.
I love it. We're gonna go to a McDonald's and ask for a water cup, but fill it with soda. No.
Yeah. That's that one's a little reference to another tangent that we had. Not even a bit. That was a tangent that we went on.
No, I'm actually kind of glad to have lost the long tangent I did about how it's okay to steal from corporations.
The minor like Robin Hood type shit. Well, I guess you're giving it to yourself, so I guess it's not. Doesn't really count. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no.
We'll leave that as a secret, or as a thing for the audience to imagine. Rather
something
than
I
know
almost
about.
said in the beginning of this review, and I forgot to because I got cut off or something. Was I want to see her, this new girl, Morikita. I want to see her learn that rules can be corrupted. I want to see her realize that sometimes rules are made by the elite class, the rich, the wealthy, the politicians, and they're not made in the best interest of society, but rather in the best interest of them for accruing wealth and power. I would love a slow realization of that from her, because I think that would be the best way to break someone like this, right? Like she understands. I think she will always respect the role that rules play in a functioning society, but I think for her to realize that, like, because the thing that I realize, and anyone realizes that, and because I think a big difference between like a left-wing person and a right-wing person is this like want or not to have like an authority figure, right? Like the right-wingers, they want a king, basically. It's pretty clear to me. And the left, one of the things that defines like a left-winger is like the hatred of hierarchies, unjust hierarchies. Yeah. They want to destroy them. And so like I would like for her to realize that like most of us, most of my friends, Rios and I, have had this realization, and that's kind of what leads you down the political path that leads you down, is that rules are not like a rule of nature. Nature didn't come up with these rules, it's people did, and people are flawed. And so like when rules exist, your first thought should be like, okay, well, does that make sense to me and my morals? Because these rules didn't come out of a vacuum. They were created by something, someone, some system. And that's one of the reasons why religion can be super dangerous, because all of a sudden you say, no, these rules were made by God, all powerful, almighty, infallible, right? And then that's why you can get religious people to do some real crazy shit, because you can tell them that these rules actually weren't created by fallible man, but infallible God. So that'll be interesting too, right? Is Morikita religious? I would be really interested to know.
Because actually, I'd be really. I mean, obviously, you can be super rule-oriented and also like atheistic, or in the way Japanese people are not super, they don't really care that much about religion. But I mean, that would just be playing into the motif of her being like having that, like I mentioned, the religious housewife thing from like the homestead. That'd be another way to play into that bit. But yeah, I mean, regarding that potential plot line, I mean, like there are two ways for a person to like, I don't know, solve that issue once they're confronted with it. You can either go the kind of the arguably less noble route, being like, oh well, I guess that means all rules are out, and there's gonna be like a libertine, hedonist, this pleasure seeking. But then like sort of the more noble, quote unquote noble path is realize, okay, well, these rules I've been presented with are they're bunk or whatever. But that doesn't mean that all rules. That doesn't mean that there are no like, that means you can make your own rules for life in your personal life, but then also kind of like how you want to do things. I mean, I do feel like, I mean, I mentioned like Morikita kind of has these rules are they feel very external sort of thing. I think that'd be a really interesting sort of switch for a character to start making these internal principles rather than rules.
Rather than following these rules that were created by some other person that shouldn't mean anything to her. Yeah. Michael Spriggs has donated $5. You guys are great. I've laughed so many times. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would wonder, are you new to the channel? Did you come from the Moonlight collab? Have you been watching us for a while? I'm curious. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. And hopefully down the line we have more traditional reviews that don't fucking break the first time. But I gotta say, bro, pat yourself on the back. Physically do it right now. I want to hear the pats. I actually did hear them. Nice Discord. I really was worried about recreating the magic, and I think we did. I mean, this was a very good review.
I don't know why. I don't know what you're worried about, man. Like, we are the yap gods.
Woo!
Like, the rap gods.
I'm beginning to feel like a yap god. Yap god. We need to write that, but like make it like somehow related to 100 Girlfriends and reviewing it. Please, Richmond.
Yep.
Can you write?
I can't do because I've never actually heard. I've only heard the meme. I don't really know what the song is like.
Richmond, please make me. I will pay you $10 to $20, depending on how good it is, if you write me a full, at least chorus of Rap God, but it's Yap God, and it's related to us reviewing 100 Girlfriends. Please and thank you. That would be excellent. Wow, that's the best idea anyone's ever had, I think. Better than the Constitution, better than the Civil Rights Act.
It'll be more. Yeah, it will have more lasting impact than any of those fleeting documents.
Yeah. And then Rios and I will perform the rap, and that'll be our channel trailer.
That'd be painful for. I mean, I've never rapped before, so I don't know how.
Oh my god, I can't write music, bro. What do you mean? Don't you know how to rhyme? Just rhyme.
You have to be switching out. You take the. I'm not granted. Given it is $20, don't spend like an hour on it, so you get $20 per hour.
Yeah, that's a good. You gotta bide your time so you're paid well, a living wage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Well, but I did say that the level of money you get from 10 to 20 depends on the quality. Okay, so which does mean that you can give me straight trash and get $10, I guess. Oh my god! Wow.
All right.
That's
exciting.
I think
review
I've
sucked the well. Yeah. I've sucked the well dry on my end. I don't know about you, Red, but yeah.
Whew, man, sucking Rios' well dry is well tempting, but kidding.
Damn.
And with that, peace.
Yeah, peace.
Okay, that's the archive. Now we're on live stream mode. All right, guys, it's Q&A time. If you stuck around, blast out some questions, comments, concerns, and we'll read as many as we can. We'll do that for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna step away for a bit to add some laundry that I'm doing. I'm gonna switch out the whites, put them in the dryer. So.
Damn, switching out the whites is crazy. Oh, he didn't hear that. Okay. All right, guys, give me some questions. Give me some comments. Give me some concerns. And then we'll see if my computer can handle a Guess the Tier List stream for an hour or so. Bing, bing, bong, bong. I'm going to make sure I do my obsessive live stream check because I'm always scared. All right, yeah, we still in. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, she's fucking amazing. I'm obsessed. I'm fucking obsessed, bro. She's so good. I think she might be my favorite adult out of all of them so far. Like, Hahari, it's fine. I do like Natty a lot. Momoha's fine to below fine. Tama, I like Tama a lot. She does not feel like an adult. I'm going to put Tama in the college student section, which, while technically an adult, like, Ira is an adult too, but like we refer to her as like a teen college student. Tama feels like a failed college student because she never went to college probably. But yeah, I think she's my favorite adult because again, Tama does not feel like an adult at all, except for that boob size. Am I right? Okay, let's see. Let me see what questions, comments, concerns we've got. Let me get a nice picture of our new girl up here for a backdrop.
All right.
Oh, perfect. I was just letting the questions pile in, and I was talking about basically what I said while you were gone was I think Kimari is definitely my favorite adult we've gotten, like easily.
Let me see.
Well, the only other one that may have contended for me was Tama, but I don't consider Tama an adult. Like
damn.
Like,
yeah,
okay.
she probably wouldn't consider herself an adult either.
Adult means working. I would like to stay a kid, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
She's like, most cats die around the time they hit 15, and that's about as old as I want to be. No, well, so, and I also said, like, Ira is technically an adult, but Ira, she's an adult, but like we kind of put her more in this like middle zone between child and adult. We could just call her like a college student, right? So like I think Tama's in the college student zone.
I mean,
if she
Yaku is like she's basically like post adult. Like
that's true. I still like Kimari more than Yaku though. I think other than Tama would be the only contender, but I mean I would put her so far, even though it's one chapter, on the same level. Okay, let me read.
For me, Momoha is the only other contender because I mean
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah,
I think Momoha's quite. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you say.
Yeah. Big fan of the horny. Big fan of that. That one.
I don't think horny's in short supply in this series.
Well, I'm a big fan of her brand of horny. Like,
just like over the top and out there.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like Hakari's horny, but he's like all scheming and duplicitous about which I mean that has its own appeal. But Momoha's just like he's like there's nothing going on today. Let's fuck for the rest of the afternoon. It's like. That's my kind of yeah. And then that one time where she was a real good ethics teacher, that was also a big thing. Like you got that in her. She doesn't really show it a lot, but yeah, I appreciate that.
That's true. Yeah, if she could, I would love to see her talk more like deep philosophy. That would be very cool side to her. Like
I would love because I mean Nakamura can do it as we've seen in this chapter. I mean,
she comes out of her tent and she's like drunk as fuck, and she's just like. To be or not to be?
Yeah, she just spouting off the most profound shit. Uto's over there taking notes.
Yes, I love it. Okay, let me read some chat here. How was your day, Scott? My day is pretty decent. Yesterday was my birthday, and I went to dinner. I went to a Mediterranean place. Mediterranean food goes hard. I had some fucking falafel. I had some shish kebabs. My buddy had some shawarma. You know, all the Mediterranean foods buzzwords you can think of. They got this fucking bread with this garlic dip. Holy fuck, that shit is good. And then I got free baklava for my birthday, so that was cool.
Ooh, nice.
I watched a bunch of your YouTube videos, and then I joined your Discord, and you're just great to listen to. Thank you so much, Michael Spriggs.
Yep, thank you.
You know, I get a lot of people who say, not as much anymore. I think they've learned that I will fall on deaf ears, but I get a lot of people, you know, oh, you guys talk for too long. How am I meant to watch this? It's so long. And it's like, I don't know about you guys. Constantly.
Well, I mean, I feel like in this era of content creation, people love like the 8-hour videos that you could turn on the moment you walk in your office and then you finish as you walk out. Like,
completely agree, right? Like my videos are what I try to create is what I look for, which is like, oh, sick, H Bomber guy just put out a new 8-hour video. Yeah. I can fucking have that on while I do dishes, laundry, clean the whole house, and it's that's kind of what we're here for. Teasday asks, is there a schedule for the rereads? Originally, we were going to do monthly. This month has been exhausting for me because lots of stuff's going on at work. Maybe getting a promotion soon, but that comes with a lot of more responsibilities. So that's occupying a lot of my
mental space. I was also like, I had to take this whole month off, basically, and I was probably not going to finish reading volume 2. I'm like halfway through.
Yeah,
so haven't really touched it this week, but yeah.
At this point, I think we'll probably just do it as we finish our rereads. So like whenever Rios tells me he's ready, then I will then get ready as well. And but I would say we'll shoot for at least at the slowest one every 2 months or so, at the fastest once a month. So you can expect the next retrospective sometime in May or June, I would assume.
Yeah.
But the only problem right now, it's a little bit dicey because I'm moving. And I will be moving probably until late May, early June, because it's just a lot of packing, a lot of paperwork. It never ends.
I mean, we moved, like, on my end, we moved from Missouri to Minnesota in like last July, and we still have things in the garage that are just unpacked.
Yeah, so it's a little...
we're going to get to it one day.
Yeah, I'm really happy. It means a lot to me that Teasday is very interested in our retrospectives. So thank you so much, Teasday. But yeah, soon. You guys will know, too. I'll put it in the Discord. Everyone will know. I was wondering if she's in your top 10. Are you talking about this new girl here? Kimari, so this is tough, right? Because it feels weird to say, yes, top 10 when she's had one chapter.
I mean, certainly in terms of introductions,
yes.
Definitely one of my favorite, you know.
I agree. I mean, I think if I'm well acknowledging that things can change on a dime, right? Like, Karna used to be B tier, now she's S tier. Uto used to be D tier, now she's S tier. You know, like there's a lot of Sue used to be F tier, now she's D tier. Things move, right? Yeah. But as of now, I do think I would put her in my top 10. Probably at the bottom end of my top 10, but still, yeah. We will see where she goes. But as I think, like Ryo said, I think she's the strongest intro I've seen in a very long time. I fucking adore her. I think her dynamic is going to be great in the group. I'm really excited. And it just feels like, I don't know, you get the vibe that Nakamura is going to treat her in the same way he treats Shizuka, like with respect, less flanderization, you know. I'm excited.
It really tingles my adult woman fetish, you know.
Okay. What is our Pokemon teams? Richmond needs to know.
I don't know enough Pokemon to have teams. I mean, most of my knowledge of Pokemon is from memes and such like that, and I mean, I read a few fanfics. They're really good. I remember like the Pokemorph one. I think it was like a really tragic one, but it was very, very good.
I'm gonna leave it up to your artistic discretion, but give me a Psyduck. Give me, I don't know, man. I feel like I had a couple more that I wanted. Give me and I think I also told you Diamond was my favorite Pokemon game. So that era, you can give me a bunch of like that era Pokemon. I also love grass type. I love Pokemon that you can find in like the woods. So like grass, water. You know, I think if I was a trainer, I would be hanging out like in the deep woods, like out in the woods. I'd have like a tree house, and I'd jump out and be like, "Fight me, bitch!" You know. So give me like grass type, forest type. I don't think that's a type, but you know, foresty, grass, water, Psyduck, because he's my boy, OG from childhood. Just give him a vibe, Rios. Give him a vibe. What types do you like?
I remember really. I mean, I remember watching the Mewtwo movie, but as a kid, and be like, oh, I was very.
You can't have Mewtwo.
Why not?
Because Mewtwo is like the most. Like, that's like a god. Like I would like God on my team.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, I mean, a lot of my I only know from like
he knows
like,
the legendaries. Give
Rios
all the legendaries.
I know the Gardevoir from the Rule 34.
Oh, you know, yeah.
From the Rule 34 fandom.
I got it. Rios's whole. I got it. Rios's mission statement is lewd. So give him all.
I don't know if I want lewd Pokemon. Like I'm not really.
Give him all the fuckable Pokemon. The Vaporeon, the Gardevoir.
Oh no.
You already know what I'm gonna do with that thing, Batman. Okay.
Don't do it, Batman. I mean, don't do it, Joker.
That's one of the best memes to come out of the COVID era, man. That was excellent. Duro Friend says, Tama is a cat, which it took me a second, but that's in response to me being like, is she adult? Is she a college student? Yeah, no, you're right. Tama
Yeah, that's actually what answer, yes.
You know what's great about that? So, can I tell you guys one of my favorite jokes from Fairy Tail? The anime / manga Fairy Tail. Does everyone remember that? Natsu, Dragoneel, and Lucy. Fucking so funny. Okay, so Natsu had he wrote characters in the same way that I like when like One Piece, right? They have like their things. Natsu had this thing, and it was he got nauseous very easily whenever he was on transportation, car, boat, train, a fucking horse-drawn wagon. It didn't matter if it was moving and it wasn't him that was moving him. He would get nauseous. And that later ended up being like a thing that all like dragon slayers had or something. It was like all people that were like half dragon or whatever the fuck the lore was like had that. There was like a deeper reason for it, which I always love when authors do that. But there's Natsu will often fly around with Happy. Like he'll grab onto Happy and Happy's like his blue little cat thing. And he flies around and Lucy's like, how do you not get nauseous when you're flying on Happy? And he looks to her with the most depressed like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that face. And he's just like, Happy isn't transportation. He's a friend. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Genuinely such a funny joke. Okay, how would situations would be like if Momoha gets clingy with Rentaro? I don't think I understand the question.
She would be clingy with Rentaro, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she tries to. I mean, we saw like the touch tank in the aquarium, right? I mean, she's out there. She is like Hikari, except there's less of a filter. I mean, a good example of that is her being like, I did it because I wanted to, right? With the swim trunks. Like Hikari has to have this like wall in between, this veneer. Of like, no, yeah. I'm not trying to ravishly fuck you. I'm not trying to ride your dick until it prunes up like a raisin. That wouldn't be very ladylike of me.
Yeah, she follows the rules of being ladylike, but Momoha's like, fuck the rules. I have horny. And it's like,
yeah. I have needs, and it's getting plowed right now. I love it. So I mean, that would probably be what it is. I think if Momoha had Momoha's way, they would be fucking already. But she's an ethics teacher, so she understands the importance of consent. But it doesn't mean she can't try to allure him.
Yes.
This is the free marketplace.
She's trying to like, what's the word? Like ethically change his consent, convince him to consent.
I understand you want to rate Rentaro, but have you considered these big, fat, juicy titties? Have you looked at them? Have you seen them?
Yeah, come up with a convoluted way for like how underage sex in this context is like totally okay because we're all love God. We got the okay from God himself.
She doesn't know about that.
But yeah, to be fair, they've all seemingly read the manga, so I'm not.
No. Remember, we've discussed this. A plot point is that Rentaro will not discuss the love god element with them. So
maybe that's why, like they read that part of the manga, so they're just playing along to like.
No.
Out of respect for Rentaro's, ethics and morals.
Zinj in the Discord told me about a story he read where like same thing where like they were in a story and like they had access to the story itself, but whenever they tried to read the title of it or something, it would like just be blank for them, or there was like certain elements of it that were blocked out for them. So I like the idea that like, yes, they know they're in like a romance comedy, they know that there's a harem element, they know that there's going to constantly be more girls, but I imagine like the title, so they don't know it's going to be 100. And I also imagine everything with the love god is just non-existent for them. Because even like during the Abandoned Island arc that we started reviewing with, the love god specifically did not show up to them. You know what I mean? There was a tension.
True, but I mean, there was that one point where like the girls showed Himika, like they basically flipped through the manga to her and like and showed her every page of the manga.
But was one of the we need to go back? Were any of those pages love god pages?
So what Rentaro goes around ripping out love god pages from all the
I could see it, bro. Like, I mean, yeah,
maybe.
Because again, I think he made a great point. If they knew that they would die if they left him, that is an incredibly coercive relationship. He does not want that out there. He wants to win them with his pure abilities.
But my contention is that even if they knew that, they know Rentaro, they know he's not gonna.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so they would go. So they play. No, I mean like in the fantasy where they know about the story. Like they're basically playing along with it because they love. Okay.
Sorry. No, it would honestly. I agree with Rentaro. It would ruin so much of the series for me if these girls, even if they knew that they would.
I mean, okay. Well, definitely for the new, like the ones who already are in a relationship with him. I don't think that would ruin it. But the ones who haven't gotten a relationship with him, yes, that would would really make it impossible to like consent.
Relationships are changing every day. Okay, if I'm madly in love with you now, but I'm told if you ever fall out in love with him, you'll die. That is inevitably going to change the dynamic, even if you never change.
True, yeah.
You know what? You gotta understand. Yeah, I know you do. But yeah, sorry, that felt very gaslighty. I know you understand what I'm saying because I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, like, what would I do in a situation? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like a part of me would be like, I mean, if I'm not into you anymore, I'm just going to die. Okay, like I'm not that'd be. I mean, living with someone I'm not in love with anymore. That's about as bad as being like. Is that really better than dying? But
you could
realistically, what I would try to figure out, how do I break the rules without killing myself?
You could.
I would probably do, but
you could do what a lot of old married couples do and just like live in the same house but like never interact.
Yep, yeah.
Become roommates. All right.
Yeah, we're platonically in love, so that doesn't break the rules, right?
Tama is my favorite type of cat girl. Yeah, I think I agree. I like how she's written. How do you feel about Chio and how the Chio and the new teacher will bond? Yeah, I think there's something there for sure, because Chio was kind of like exactly like the product of how she teaches children is Chio. You know what I mean? Like Chio is the type of person who she did it in a lot less of a calm. I think Chio basically, without Rentro's intervention, would have become like Kamari.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, she was a little spurgy about it. She was a little like, nyeh, you know, like, meh. But I think that probably would have chilled out as she got older, and she would have just kind of remained this. And then she probably would have had to go to therapy at some point and realize, like, oh, this is the reason I'm like this is because my useless fucking dad never did any dishes.
I had to parentify my own parent, you know.
Which is interesting because, you know, I get the feeling that it's very different for Kimari. She isn't like this because she had to step into that role. She's like this because I have a feeling her parents were very on top of things, very very
like they didn't allow her to become an adult. Like they forced these rules on her.
Yeah.
I mean, like I mentioned it earlier, like her rules are external, but like, you know, Kyo and Nano have more like an internal drive pushing them towards the thing. Like it's not coming from, you know, external forces forcing them to be that way. Like they're doing it because they want to do it, basically.
I love that distinction. It's really good. I don't see myself as an adult either. Yeah, I mean, it took me until it was around COVID when I felt it's very weird. It's just this like nebulous feeling.
Yeah, definitely the times I feel the most adult when I have like responsibility for something. Like, I mean, I think that's really just what the feeling of being an adult is having responsibility. Like it unfortunately, because of the society we live in, it takes longer and longer to have anything worth being responsible over, or if it's something like car payment or a college loan, which is something I don't really want to be responsible for that, but I'm forced to
Welcome
because
to
I
life.
have to pay $1 billion for the car or for my college education or whatever. But yeah.
Do you remember the you remember the TikTok meme? It was like, "Here comes the boy, hello
Oh,
boy,"
yeah.
And it was like with people with their cats. And then someone did a version where it was like, "Here comes the man, here comes the adult man, welcome taxpayer."
Beautiful.
All right. Had Tama went to college, she probably would still be in it, given she's 21. No, she wouldn't, because she would have dropped out. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I see what you mean.
College?
Yeah.
Oh my god, she would. Yeah, the stoner college student who's like, yeah, I'm like, this is better than being homeless, but I'm not really gonna like.
Yeah.
I'm the bare minimum to stay in.
My parents actually paid for this. They saved up their whole lives to send me here, and I'm just kind of using it as like a dorm room.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This chapter is one of my favorite girlfriend introduction chapters in the series. Tiller Nunez, I completely agree with you. It's. I mean, really, I that would be a fun tier list actually. Ranking the introductions, we should do that. I think there's a lot to discuss there.
Yeah, I mean, like Usa Chantan Dono Sama would be. Yeah, she'd be a big contender in there for like really
The ones that
I guess
subvert.
technically it's not really. I mean, because our introduction to her is technically the group introduction chapter, but then the group introduction chapter takes place after as technically the introduction of her. I don't know. That one's real interesting because it just flips the script in so many ways. But yeah,
that is true. Sorry, I dropped my phone and I had to make sure that it didn't turn off the chat. Okay. Here we go. Momaha type of character that are treated as side characters heroine. Ugh, God, I don't know if it's a language barrier. Sometimes I read a thing and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, and I apologize. Do you see the one I'm talking about?
Wait, where are we?
Desmond Malone. It's right above She Has a Fang, though, in all caps.
Yeah, let me.
Momaha type of
for
character.
it.
Momaha type of character that are treated as side characters heroine. Huh.
Maybe a response to something we were saying.
Probably. Sorry, we love you, Desmond.
Yeah.
She has a fang, though. Who are we referring to with the fang?
I mean, Momaha does, but.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that's the fang denotes mischievousness. Methinksies. I know a lot of VTubers with fangs.
I know a lot of anime characters with fangs.
Yeah. I remember you and I both watched Lost Paws back in the day, and he dubbed it the kawaii fang in one of his playthroughs.
Yes.
Do you remember? She's got a little kawaii fang over here.
And then and then later on the anime people came through the evolution of the flesh fang. Which
yeah, when it's like part of the lip. Yeah, that's easier to draw, I imagine. Streams are supposed to.
It's like a sheath for your like how cats have the claws in the sheath. Their canine goes into the
food
flesh.
Would get stuck in there, man. It would get so nasty. It's god. They got to get that shit like circumcised. Streams are supposed to be long. I agree, Desmond. Thank you. Thanks to he's saying thanks to Rentaro, she's a main character, but Momaha would be a side character. Wow. Okay, so if we get an actual foreigner girlfriend, where do you all think they would be from? I've said it before. I'm talking German or Slavic white personally.
I mean, Japan does have a pretty close relationship with a Germany for let's say not the greatest reasons, but yeah.
The German girlfriend's like, yes, my grandfather was a fighter pilot in World War II. Oh, where is he now?
Oh, wow.
He's not around anymore.
Yeah, like what side was he on? Girlfriend number 88.
I'm gonna need the German girl to be. No, actually, I was gonna make a joke, but that'd be bad. I don't want her to be super stereotypical, but I would love to see a girl wearing like the full lederhosen and like that'd be cute.
I mean, that is traditional dress in German.
True,
like,
but you wouldn't want
it's not a costume, but yeah, it would
true,
be,
but you wouldn't want it to be like that's my character. I look German. Yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, no, I would like to see, and Lasher Luke mentions this a lot, but I think it would be really cool to actually have an American girl. Like,
as a foil to Natty.
Natty would be worshiping her. She'd be like, oh my God, tell me about everything. What is it like to pay taxes in America?
And he just he hates America. Like Like he's like a fucking like.
Oh, I love that idea.
Commie leftist.
Yeah, she's the American girlfriend came to Japan to escape Trump's regime.
Like Natty, they don't have public transportation. You have to drive everywhere.
And then Natty's like, "That sounds awesome. Everyone gets their own car."
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Like, she keeps trying to. Every time she tries to like make Natty hate America, she's like, "That makes it even cooler." Like, all right. All the children are free to be shot by like Magnum 45 bolts. How's that feel? Like, you like that?
Sounds really exciting to me. I had a really boring childhood. I'm kidding. That would be too fun.
He's like, fine. He's like, fine. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would balance it right, but I would that would be a really fun dynamic. I love the idea of like trying to think of other things. No, because like, what we were just saying earlier about like, everyone gets their own car. It's like, yeah, but you get like a car payment, like a car payment.
You're forced to have a car.
I love it. That would be such a great conversation between them. So that's what I'd like to see. American Girl. What other girls would be? Well, can you think of one more? So I'm not just saying America because I live there.
Looking at a map, I meant in my head. I mean, I don't know, maybe like from Africa. Like,
ooh, yeah. Please, let's diversify a little bit. We need a little bit more melanin in the cast.
I think poor Aira is like literally the only melanated individual. She's really holding up the world like Atlas on her shoulders.
Fucking that meme, haha, I'm in danger. It's like, this is starting to feel a little weird, retro. She's like, I'm sorry, we live in Japan. There's a okay. There's just a type that I'm likely to see. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He needs to go to fucking Akihabara and start like zinging with like tourists. Is what he needs to do.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, please. Okay. Let me see. A romanceable heroine, even better. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, midpoint. Richmond. So I've reached Dumb Island into my one. Oh, you mean Drum Island, probably. That is
Dumb Island.
Dumb Island. Yeah, you know why they call it dumb? So no, that arc is amazing. I cried very hard at Chopper's flashback. Be ready, be prepared. Rios ready for reread. So many R's.
Yeah.
What a great comment. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate that comment.
Alliteration.
Ooh, fun. That was the ha 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 one of words.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Kimari with her development of her character by being part of Dry Squad of the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he is.
What do we mean by?
He's a dry. Well, dry character, like personality is dry.
Oh, okay. I thought
like Nano
in relation to her pussy.
You know, like Ben Shapiro, she agrees that having a wet ass pussy is a medical condition. You know,
she's probably.
I mean, she has some religious. I mean, you know, we said it again. She has a sort of conservative religious background, so I'm sure she probably thinks sexual arousal is some sort of sin. Devil made.
I was reading a fanfic today. It was a Harry Potter one, and I'm not into Harry Potter much anymore, but it's the same author who does that One Piece one that I like a lot. And I just really like how he writes, and he's not been doing the One Piece one, and he's only been doing the Harry Potter one recently, and I'm like, God damn it. But it's God's Shadow, by the way. God's Shadow One Piece fanfic. Look it up. It's the best Luffy harem fanfic I've ever seen. So the girl he's fucking today is some random. I mean, he's basically just having Harry run through every single minor character in the entire series, just all these background characters. So he's fucking some random Slytherin girl, and the way that he characterized it was like exactly kind of how I imagine her, where like she knows what sex is, but she's only ever imagined it as like you do it to have a kid, you do it to have a family, and there's even a line where she said the way her mother described sex to her was like the woman's duty, like you bear it, you have the kid. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm imagining from her, is like she's never felt like pleasure from her nether regions ever until just now, and she's like, what the fuck?
A whole new world has been opened up there.
I'm excited. I mean, that's always a very fun dynamic. I mean, there was an old, really old, like 2-3 page comic I used to read, like back when I was like beginning to masturbate as like a middle schooler, and it was like a Starfire one, like Starfire from Teen Titans, and it was like one of those, like, somehow it doesn't make any sense, obviously, because like why would she have a pussy? Because she's like an alien. You know about Starfire, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why she'd still have
I mean,
pussy.
they gotta reproduce.
But no, I know, but like
it doesn't have to be like a human pussy. It could be could be a whole bunch of things, but
true. But specifically, the comic didn't make sense because it was one of those where like she didn't know about sex.
Oh yeah,
and like Robin got to teach her about sex, but like you'd think she'd know about it if they have similar pussies and pleasure. Either way, but it was just one of those like, oh, I'm very interested in your human mating techniques. Would you like to show me? And then she's like, what is this? I remember I used to be really into like hentai like that, where it was like someone like awakening to that pleasure for the first time. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Basically, the first time sort of thing, super. Was where like the extreme version of a first time, like they don't know anything about it, like they don't have like I mean that's actually how I wrote like in that Daily Life fanfic that I write on like our cover. That's actually how the first sex scene goes, like because the female MC is like not a human, so they don't really have any experience that sort of thing. So.
I love that. It's just something's really fun. I don't know, and then you feel like it's such a privilege to be like the person to teach someone about that. Like oh wow.
I mean, and the teaching part. I mean, that's a big part before the sex. Like, I think actually what happens, I write it so like he tries to have sex with her because he's been sort of psyching himself up for it, but then it doesn't work because he's so like anxious and excited. So he has to take it back and go, okay, like this is how the sex thing is supposed to work, and they kind of explore each other's bodies and get and relax, and then they actually
that's so nice.
Do it. But,
I love that.
Because I mean, if anyone's interested in that, I got the links on my YouTube channel and my socials. But
all right. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. We're still slowly catching up with all these questions and/or comments. Yawabber3, great name by the way. Yawabber, is it just me or has Rentro become smooth with his words? I think he's always been smooth, but he's definitely gotten smoother.
He's become even more smooth. Like if you can imagine, like.
Do you remember the Siri thing with May? That was.
Oh yes! Oh my god!
He was like, Siri, give me a hug, give me a kiss. I can't do that. You see? What do you know?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Fucking Casanova. Like, I mean, if only I had a crumb of this man's charisma, I'd be rolling in pussy, basically.
That's why he's so good, because that's not why he's doing it. He doesn't have those lecherous desires. I mean, they're there a little bit, but like that's not the main reasoning, right? Like that really is. I mean, not to gas myself up too much, but like I really do. I have friends, so many friends that are good people that are on like their 5th ex-girlfriend at this point, and they just like constantly tell me like, oh, it just never works out. We date for a little bit and we just fall out of love, and I'm like, all of these friends, they're fucking within the first, like they scoff at me for waiting like as long as I did with Allie. My buddy Justin, who is like the big communist roommate I lived with for like 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. He was like he couldn't imagine waiting longer than like a few weeks. He was like, that's crazy to me, and I was like, bro, like, what is wrong with you? Like, just like, it's okay. Like, sure, if both people say yes, that's fine. But I think that there's something to be said about like dating for a really long time and proving to each other that you're not just there for a quick fuck, but you actually just genuinely love spending time with people. Every relationship I've had where the base is a friendship and then you build on that is much better than like, hey, we just got like hooked up over like Tinder, and like I've never met you before in my life, but 2 weeks in we're fucking and we're doing this thing that's supposed to be like the most special thing 2 humans can do, and it's like that. I just feel like not.
Yeah, I think that kind of thing to work, you have to definitely have similar ideas on what sex means. Like you can't. Yeah. Like, you can't be seeing it the way you describe and then doing that like on the first date. Like, now if you think of it as something like a fun thing to do, then
it's fine if it's a one night stand or even like a friends with benefits. God bless, go at it.
I mean, I think even like in the long term relationship, if you both have the same sort of I would be willing to do it on the first date, but I mean, obviously, I would want to make sure the person has a similar like conception of sex as I do, which is much more like, I don't know, casual. Like it's kind of hard to. Not necessarily casual. I mean, because I mean, like I say, I say that I like. I mean, I said before, like I probably wouldn't masturbate if I wasn't like so into erotic stuff. Because I mean, like I'm very much kind of person. Like I'm only gonna focus on the things that I care about. And if porn was not my bread and butter, then it would not be important to me. I would at best masturbate like occasionally just to sort of get it out of my system and be done with it. But because I'm really into like all sorts of like like erotic. Just the world of eroticism. I'm way more into like any sort of like sexual stuff, and that's kind of how I would like if I was gonna be with someone. That's kind of I would hope they have a similar idea, like like they kind of into sex as a hobby, I guess, kind of thing. Like it's like sex is my special interest kind of thing.
No, I'm super
And I mean,
fine.
if
Go ahead.
if we have that, if I knew we had that sort of same idea, I'd be like, yeah, I'd totally go for a first date, because I mean, it's basically you're basically engaging in a hobby at that point. It's not really like,
oh yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
I'm talking these friends of mine, like they all want they want to have like a long-term special relationship, and it's like then you need to build a base of a friendship before you know what you can't just like, I don't know. It feels like to me like you're doing it in reverse order when you start with fucking, and then it's like, okay, now let's see if we have like common interests. It's like it's just strange to me. You know, but I'll say like, you know, just advice for men out there. Like never was there a moment when I saw the light like in Allie's eyes when she was really nervous about. I think she was used to, you know, kind of had this expectation of what a man would want, and that a man would want to have sex within at least the first couple months. You know, we're 3-4 months into a relationship at this point, and she tells me with this like look in her eyes, and you can tell that she thinks I'm going to be disappointed, and she's like, I really hope this isn't like a huge deal for you, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't know when I'll be ready. I can't give you like any promises. It might be over a year, and I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready. And I told her totally honestly, without a shred of I don't know, lying in my bones. I was like, it can take as long as you want, you know what I mean? Because at that point, I'm just like loving being with her so much. We're getting together. We're watching One Piece. We're playing video games. We're able to have like hour-long discussions about, I don't know, our opinions on politics and philosophy, and you know what I mean? Like, it's the same way that I don't need to have sex with Rios to do these videos.
Yeah.
To me, it's like I look at relationships in the same way. A best friend and someone that you love, it's such a fine line. It's almost non-existent to me. It's just like I would be willing to just live with Allie for the rest of my life and never have sex with her again. It's really nice. I like it. It is something I crave and want, but it's not going to end the relationship. And I think that if you want a very strong relationship, you need to get yourself mentally at that point where like it's a cherry on top, but it's not essential, because things change, you know. Allie's on a lot of medication. It changes her sex drive, up, down, up, down, up, down. There are months where it's happening a lot. There are months where we go half a year without doing it. And if that was going to end the relationship, it wasn't a very strong relationship in the first place, in my opinion, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Just adopt that mentality. Like get yourself out of the, oh my God, she's a girl, and just like look at her.
Well, yeah,
as,
definitely
like,
that.
a
Like,
best
don't,
friend.
like,
Yeah.
Like that's being still stuck in like the heteronormative box. You know, like,
Yes.
you're being stuck in the idea that there's certain rules. You know, speaking like topical, you know, rules that relationships are supposed to go that they're divorced from like the individuality of the people involved. Like that, yeah, that definitely tends not to work. Like,
there's nothing women love more than being treated like a human being. You know, so imagine that, right? Like it's I don't know. They just want to.
Men around the world will refuse to believe it, but it really is that simple.
This one man has this one trick that other men don't want you to believe.
Like Rentar pulls out the George R. R. Martin quote, like, I've always seen women as people. Like,
whoa! Everyone's pogging.
Like someone like years down the line when everyone in the verse knows about Rentaro's politics, like, how do you do it, man? You're just like, I've always
That's great. Okay, and that was all just to answer Yorbers.
Yeah.
Is it me, or is he smoother with his words? No legendaries or mythicals, Richmond says. Yeah, that's where we are, by the way, the Pokemon conversation. Mewtwo is a man-made god, by the way. Yeah, he was made in the lab.
Yes.
He's getting a Smurgle. I don't even know what that is.
I looked up. I was like, what the hell is that? But yeah, it's like a Pokemon has like it's like a painting themed Pokemon. Got a tail with like a paintbrush.
Give him Jinx.
Yeah. I was like, okay, a little interesting. You're giving the black man.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that. You better be thinking about what you're saying there, Mr. Desmond.
Yeah.
Okay. Leave Vaporeon alone, you sick bastards. Never. Never. No lube required. You understand? There is no rules against the Pokemon, Batman.
Yeah. That. Yeah, Morky. There's no rules against the that's gonna be like whenever there's like a I mean that'd be a real way to like a sort of break drive, like show her something that there are no rules for, and then she has to like deal with it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So, all right, check this out, Miss Morikita. How do you feel about the advancement of generative AI? It's advancing at such a rate that there are no regulations or rules for it. How do you feel about? I want to know your opinion on something that does not have a formulated rule, and I want you to prove to me that you can formulate an opinion based on your own mindset and not a rule that some government entity has brought up.
Okay, yeah. Then she's gonna start malfunctioning like nano.
Excellent. So Tomo-chan as a girl is between good and great. You just need to appreciate for what it is. Okay. That's the most nothing statement you've ever said in your entire life, Richmond. Just appreciate it for what it is. Okay, well, I'll go and appreciate Rent a Girlfriend for what it is, too, I guess. No, I mean, I'll see. If it gets better, we'll see. I'm willing to watch it. I'm not...
I remember hearing, decent reviews of it. I mean, it's not like a 100 Girlfriend, but it's not like
she's cute. I like the tomboy aesthetic, but I've just seen much better. I don't know. It is something I want to break out of, right? I don't want to be in the mindset of well, I've seen this thing that's better, so I can watch nothing else now. It's that is stupid.
Yeah.
So I'll take the time to watch it at some point. Desmond, if Momoha and Natty get so drunk at a bar that Rentaro comes to the bar and takes them home, how would that chapter look like?
I mean, I think it would look the way you described it. When you ask this question, you can't give us the answer in the question because then we can't answer the question.
So if 1 + 1 = 2, what would that equal? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
that would be a fun moment.
That'd be a cool chapter.
To see the young man having to bring back the drunk ladies, it's like a real who's the adult situation.
I do love that idea too, right? And then you'd have another moment to show that Rentaro never takes advantage. You know what I mean? You might even have a moment where Natty is super clingy and Momoha's super trying to fucky, and Rentaro gets to be like, no, you're not in your right mind right now. It's just go to sleep. I'll kiss you in the morning, okay?
And then Momoha's like, I consented before I became drunk, okay? So the morality of consent, the ethics of consent, I know all. I study them all.
That would be a good opportunity to do the thing we mentioned, where she starts spouting out super high concept ethics 301 fucking lessons.
Momo, I haven't taken that class yet. I don't know what those terms mean.
So if we go off the Kantian, I don't know, is that
if we go on Kant's moral imperative, to do to only act in ways that you could universalize your decision in that context.
That would be amazing.
In this situation, I would universalize your dick in my pussy.
Yeah, please. I need her to start talking like that when she is drunk. I also need her to make a joke where this would not work in Japanese at all, but Kantian, more like Kantian, am I right? Now get in there.
I'm sure Tuesday could pull something out.
Yeah, Tuesday's gonna type cunt on the chapter. I highly doubt it.
I mean, if they say Kant, they're gonna say like Kanto or whatever in Japanese, so it wouldn't be too far away from it.
Amazing. Okay. I'm out of breath, man. How would a sake date chapter look like?
We haven't had one of those yet, actually. So
we saw a little bit. We saw them at the zoo, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be, obviously the punchline's always going to be like, all right, come to your senpai. But I would like to see, I think a chapter where her self-confidence gets shaken a little bit. I would like where she wants to protect him from something, do the classic senpai thing, and she doesn't fully do it, but Rentaro finds a way to spin it in a way where he helps her, but he teaches her that it's I couldn't have helped you if it wasn't for the strength that you gave me by doing this, or something like that. Yeah. I'm back from the shower. What's up? Hello, Mela. Are you nice and washed, refreshed?
Yeah, you are no longer one of the unwashed masses. Mm-hmm. You're the washed masses.
Hasu is sniffing your new washed form.
Yeah.
That's something I need to know. Does Hasu, because we know Hasu doesn't like garbage smell, but does Hasu like BO? She has to.
No, that would depend. That would depend on the person, because different people have different BO compatibilities or whatever. Where it's
ooh, yeah.
One person BO smells great, and the other one is I can't get this man in the shower kind of thing. But yeah.
The bacteria in my gut craves your smell.
yeah. Our immune our immune systems are different enough that we would make great children together or whatever. Yeah, that's I think that's a theory of why different BOs are like attractive or unattractive or whatever. But
Richmond did gift me an audiobook for my birthday. And he's saying it's a beginner friendly. It's a 40K lore book, so that's exciting. Or like I think it's a story that takes place in that universe or something. So yeah, I have it all downloaded.
My introduction to the 40K lore was Evangelion crossover fanfic between those two stories. It was really interesting way to learn about the story. But
excellent, yeah. No, I have it all downloaded. Next long road trip. Maybe I'll listen to it on the way to meeting up with Rios in Chicago in July. We'll see.
Getting closer and closer every day.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. And I'll tell you what, I had to do a little finagling on your gift because it's I'll say this much: it's something I commissioned. Isn't that exciting? And so I've been discussing with the artist back and forth. And there was an original plan of how it was going to be done, and then that plan couldn't be done because they couldn't get into contact with like some collaborator artists that they were going to collab with. So then they're like, okay, can I do it this way instead? And just a minor change to it, but it's still just as good. And they were like, all right, yeah, perfect. So I actually officially paid them for your gift like about a week ago. So look forward.
Bro, I'm getting these breadcrumbs over the course of these months is like really like you're really whetting my appetite over here.
Tantalizing. I'm so excited. That's why I asked you if you would be cool with like being in a live action video with a mask on, because I want to like present it to you. We got to find like a little
like you get like drop down a knee or whatever.
No, my girlfriend will be there. I can't do that.
Yeah. You got to marry her first before we can start pretending to marry other people. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. We can. I mean, listen. Objectively, how cool would it be? How much of a committing to the bit would it be if us, the 100 Girlfriends reviewers, started a polycule to live life like Rentaro?
Yeah. To follow his example.
That'd be sick as fuck. Just putting it out there. All right. The Flesh Fang makes more sense in black and white manga. That's true, yeah. And then once it translates to anime, it's like, oh, geez, what the fuck?
You see it like why is it the same color as their skin? So it must be flesh. Like,
no, I just don't brush my teeth very well. Paris, France. I would love a French girl. Would be crazy, bro.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I want? Remind me if we have one. Do we have any? Does Momoha smoke?
She did smoke, but no longer.
Oh yes, we need a smoking girl. We need the French girl. I could see her like. I know that's a stereotype.
Please let it be like a fake cigarette. Because I mean, I don't know.
No, real. No, she wouldn't be. She'd be another adult, I think. And I think.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you were concerned about the child smoking.
No,
French child who's like, sorry, I gotta. we have to go take a smoke break.
Yeah, how we all in Europe, we do things a little bit differently.
Oh my god! And then Kurumi's gonna accidentally be racist and start fucking craving a baguette. I'm sorry, I can't. Do you happen to have a baguette in your bag? And she's like, oh, how did you know? I do.
First she's like, why would you think I have a baguette? Are you racist? And you're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like I'm just messing with. I got a baguette right here.
Yeah. I every morning I always have. All French people have baguette.
Full, long ass piece of bread from like her backpack. Like how you?
It's still like steaming. It's like fresh. My mom just baked it this morning. Every morning she bakes me a baguette for school. That's all I eat all day. I just nibble on the baguette.
It turns out I'm like Nemu, but instead of making shoes, we make bread at our house.
Fuck yes, dude. Baker girlfriend, cute. All right. Momoha has the Fang, and she is so hot. Rentaro is a better man than me. Yeah, he really is. Because
a better man than all of us.
Well, there are things that he's doing that would land him in serious trouble, and I think he is trying to give himself...
Yeah, he's aware of that. So
when he inevitably ends up in court, and we have the lawyer/judge girlfriend... oh, dude, I just realized... Okay.
Imagine it was like one of her parents, like Kimari's parents.
Yeah! Okay, here's how it's gonna go. He's the lawyer that's like the state assigns to him. Well, actually, no. Hahari would buy him like a fancy lawyer, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He purposely assigns Kimari's mom to create like or dad, whichever parent is the judge. But it's like to create like an intentional conflict of interest to help their case.
Yeah. You're the kid who's fucking my daughter.
Like I've never seen her smile like that. I realize now as an adult that
Oh.
we were too harsh on our. We were trying to raise it right, but and because of that, now they're like in out of gratitude, we will allow you to do this questionably illegal activity unmolested.
And then it becomes like national news. The Japan Supreme Court has to like step in. Like, this is insane. Like, what? This judge is clearly corrupt. Oh my god! And then if Hahari pays a visit to the Japan Supreme Court, and how much money do we need here? How much money? Are you looking for a new vacation home, Supreme Court Justice, sir? All right. I assume they have a Supreme Court like we do. I know a lot of democracies have kind of like fashioned their shit around ours.
Prime minister. They got like they have a diet. I'm not totally sure what the difference between the exact specifications of the Japanese government are, but they don't have a president. I think the prime minister is different from the president, but
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I didn't mean to.
Because I barely know. I was realizing after I was saying I only know enough to know what I do not know, basically.
Well, more than me. All right. I do think that just because the stream's going a little long and I'm starting to feel the twinge of like my voice kind of giving out. I'm thinking we will end off this stream with the Q&A, but at a later date, I would love to try the tier list guessing stream. Does that sound cool to everybody?
Yeah.
That's chill to you, Rios? Or I assume you want to get off soon because you work tomorrow, right?
Oh well, yeah. It's like it's about to be 3:00 over here, so I'm not really like worried about. I'm not. I don't go to sleep at like 10 a.m. or like 9 p.m. like a good good
little Kimari, like a good little rule follower.
Yeah.
I just figure because I do have a friend coming over tonight. A lot of friends are hanging out with me this weekend because it's my birthday. So I wouldn't be able to stream for more than like an hour and a half more than this anyway. And I figure if we do the tier list thing, we'd want to do it for longer than that. So we'll make that another stream. As long as my computer doesn't explode, I'm down to stream more. And then plus,
that's a good thing to put in a little weekend break,
Yes, and then something that you and I can... that's a great point. Yeah, we can do it next weekend. Yeah, perfect. And then I want to get with you about maybe... like I want to screen share with you and like go through my my computer settings and see if there's anything I can do to like optimize the way things are run a little bit better to prevent... Yeah, because I have a feeling... it wouldn't surprise me at all if I went into OBS and it's like somehow it's trying to clock out like 120 frames and like 1080p, 4K.
Oh my lord, yeah.
All right. Put in your final questions now. We're going to try to run through them in the next 20 to 30 minutes here. Thank you for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. Seriously, I love each and every one of you so much. I mean it. It's so cool to be able to do these videos for you guys. I keep losing my fucking place. Here we go. If there's a season of 3 or 4 in the anime, what future cameo are you hoping? Cameo from who? Because all the characters are...
I mean, I don't know. Any of them would do. I mean, we got the cameo of like Momiji.
Oh, you mean like a foreshadowed girl, right?
Yeah. I think so, probably.
So in that scene,
anyone could be good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. like any character, any girlfriend could be good for that. So
in that scene from 118 that y'all just directed me to, make that background character like definitely Kimari. It would be great. I would love that.
Yeah.
Who else would be good? I'm trying to think of other scenarios.
Uto wandering in the background, maybe.
Yeah, like at some point when they're in like, I'm sure there's a chapter where they're in the park before Uto's introduced. She could just be in the background like fishing, and you just see you just see like her cloak, and it's just like some random girl fishing, and you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, you see him from the back, so you can't even tell is that a man or a woman.
Yes, great, love it. Maybe he's at like a shop or like a shop.
I feel like a lot of the newer girlfriends, it would be a little hard to like have them be in the background without being like super obvious.
The designs are so
I mean, maybe like having Usa-chan like sneak and looks at them from around the corners, and that
would be crazy. If you did that in season 3, that's like a full like 100 chapters before she shows up. She's been watching him for years. Well, obviously time doesn't move, but I had one other thing. So what's funny too is like we know that Hasu is in the same class as Iku and Yamame. So but her design is so crazy. So like imagine just season 3. There's like a moment where we're seeing them all in class, and it's just like normal background character, random detective bitch.
Yeah. The stand user could be anyone.
That'd be awesome. Also, something I think that would be interesting: a girlfriend with multiple personalities, like that disorder.
Only one of them is the girlfriend.
No, oh shit, dude, that's a problem. Oh no,
That would be.
Or he zings with all different of her personality. He zings with her multiple times because she has multiple personalities.
Oh yeah,
that would be crazy.
Every time she switches a new personality, it's a new zing.
She could be like girlfriends. Like, I don't know, she could be girlfriend 33, 34, and 35, or 34, 35, 36 type shit, right? Like, she counts as 3.
No,
that'd be cheating.
I'm the camp that I don't want any cheating like that. Like, I'm the camp, if there's a twin character, he can only zing with one of the twins.
No, I disagree with that. Because
that does feel like cheating. Like, it feels like Nakamura is like skipping through the numbers, or whatever. Like,
I'll tell you why.
Not giving each of the zings their proper due.
It doesn't feel like cheating to me because I believe that Nakamura would write twins very different. Like, they would look the same, have slight different.
Oh well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree with that bit.
Hold on, they would look the same, but I think they would dress different. I think Nozawa would pop off with the fashion stuff, and then I think they would be drastically different in personality. I know this from twins I've known in real life. We had a Leah and a Jessica in my school growing up, and they looked very similar. But man, I mean, one of them was like the troublemaker, right, and one of them was like the more strict, like Kamari here, So to me,
I'm not worried about the girlfriends. I'm talking about more about like the progression of through the 100 different characters. I don't want it to feel like we're like Nakamura's like trying to like skip to the end faster.
I would only want
like he can't handle maybe he can't handle it or whatever.
Yeah, it would suck if it started to feel like he was trying to speed through. I agree. That's why
I was pointing to, basically. Yeah.
I think it's only okay if it's with the twins, because I think that because I like the idea of him shifting up the formula and surprising us the same way he surprised us with Usa, right? And I think a double zing would be really surprising, but as long as he doesn't lean on it, it can happen occasionally, but not all the time.
I mean, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one Spider-Man code. I can.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we technically
the
got
OG
that with
double zing.
Hakari. Yeah.
I just think twins would be such a cool idea. Also, by the way,
but I do think twins would be cool. I'm on team, like, it would, like, even if it was like 5 quintuples or whatever, he only thinks with one of the girls or something like that.
That would be a fun element too, right? Like, because then like her twin could be like a reoccurring side character who's just like, oh, is this that polycule you're in that you told me about? Yes, sissy. Oh my god. But I also so the way that I've envisioned the twin thing is he doesn't double zing, but he meets one, zings with her, and then he meets another thinking it's her for a sec, from a distance thinking it's her, zings again, and then he's like, that's weird, and then the reveal that they're twins. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I see the vision. That would be interesting. I mean, a part of me would be a little hurt that we didn't get like a full stream, but I would appreciate the genius of that setup.
Well, so like I can't remember which one of us said it, but in one of our videos we had discussed an idea where like it's twins and they're both in the drama club, and one of them is like the star of the play, and the other one is like playing like the tree in the background, like that type of shit, and so like it'd be a cool dynamic where like he meets one of them. Like, he could meet the one that plays the tree first, and like she's like, "Oh, come and see me in this play." Like, it's not a huge deal or anything. I'm just like this background character, and then he shows up, and she's like the main character from his perspective, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, but then he sings again, and then he's like, oh, "That's weird. That's never happened." I think that'd be a fun dynamic.
The nice thing about the thing is because we still have like 66 more girlfriends. We have multiple twins.
Ooh.
Like multiple sisters kind of situation.
Oh my god! And also, there's the scandal element of that, which is the scandalousness is great. Being in just like Hakari and Hahari being in the same polycule. Yes, of course. So like 2 sisters being in the polycule, even if they don't like scissor each other at some point, because they don't have to, right? But like there's going to be a point where they're all fucking Rentaro, and you get to see your sister getting railed.
Like you take the first 50, I'll take the last 50 over here. We'll stay clear from each other.
Yeah, anyone who's
about any cross contamination.
Yeah. Anyone who's uncomfortable being in the same room will split off into a couple groups, and Rentaro will kind of like just like peruse through the rooms as he pleases. We can have older girls in one room, the younger girls in the other room. I love that. God,
we really could have so many different pairings, like combinations, like
that's oh my god, dude, that's why I love these fanfics that take place in like the future, where you see like his little fucking like sex I don't know, not dungeon,
sex compound.
Yeah, the sex compound he has. There's gonna be a whole floor in the goddamn Hanazono mansion just for fucking, dude.
You know, yeah, real switch up from casual to competitive sex over here. It's kind of like so kind of the energy we're going for here.
And I also love, so you know, you've sent me a bunch of, I don't remember what the name of the author is, but like there's the fanfics, you know, where oh god, I can't remember. It's called like their daily lives or whatever. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's several of them. Like just one of like 100 first times or something like that. Or
they're sent a lot in there, but there's one where it's Kurumi and Ira, and it's called Kurumi Craving for Chocolate Milk. Have you seen that one?
Okay, I have not seen that one yet.
So what it is
it's been a while. It's been a while since I read. I'll have to actually look to see what new crop of fanfic have been.
This one's fascinating because it takes place in the future where. And they describe how, like, basically there's never a moment in Rentero's family where there's not at least a handful of them pregnant, just statistically, right? Mm-hmm. Which I love that concept, you know. So they're all living like kind of on the compound, you know, and Kurumi's pregnant and Ira's pregnant, and they're kind of like and Rentaro is, and this is like not their first child. Like Ira already has a kid, and Rentero's out like, you know, like playing with the kid. He like took the kid to the park or whatever, and he's also like stopping at the convenience store to get like food for Kurumi, and Kurumi all, you know, like I think it's something like Ira's breastfeeding one of the kids, and then Kurumi gets a hankering for chocolate milk, right? Because she's got a darker skin tone, and she's like, oh
yeah,
and so pregnant Kurumi is like fucking like breastfeeding from Ira. And then Rentaro walks back in on that, and he's like, oh, I should have known. You couldn't wait for me to get back with your snacks.
Yeah, like, oh, you.
But all that to say that like, the element of that really stuck with me was this like description of like, oh yeah, you know, in the Rentaro family compound, there's never a moment where there's not at least like 10 girls that are deeply pregnant. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Like, concernedly pregnant.
It's just what a life he's going to live. Like, sometimes you have to step back and consider the life that my boy Rentaro is going to live. It's going to be insane. He's going to have a gaggle of wives, and you know, like they don't all have to be in the compound. You know, like they're all going to be living their lives, doing their things. But just the sheer amount he has, he can walk in there, and at any given point, there'll be like 30 girls ready to like smash or play video games or watch shows or go to the park. It's insane. I'm so excited for my boy. And he's going to have so many children. I just can't wait for that element. I need the time skip. I need to know numbers. How many children will he have?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Like Genghis Khan over here, like dramatic, like significantly altering the gene pool of Japan for like the foreseeable future.
Elon Musk is jealous.
Yeah, he can only like wish to have, like that man's out here on Twitter.
He's literally said women. Like the purpose of relationships is to like spread your seed or like have
like that guy's out here on Twitter DMing women like, hey, will you take my sperm if I like mail it to you? And I think because
your
of that,
genes look really good. I think we could have a good strong genomed child.
Yeah, I think because of that, he got rid of DMs on Twitter, so I haven't tried to use them yet. So I don't know if that's still in effect or whatever. But like, yeah, it's like this man's out here dismantling Twitter for every misstep he makes. But anyway, enough about that.
Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling through like ones that are actually questions now. Sue would love Hasua 1, lol. Oh, ha. Oh, I'm sorry.
The ha 1 meme.
Yes, she would love that meme. That's when I opened our Discord, the first thing I posted in her channel was that exact meme.
Yeah.
What? It's just her. That's her Cocomelon. She's just like watching that video over and over again. Like, it is 1. That is a 1, Sonic.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Like you walk in and watching television, like what are you watching? So you see like numbers showing up on screen. It's just
like a screensaver.
Like, 1.
Just one of those screensavers with numbers gently bouncing across the screen.
This one's my favorite.
Harry Potter harem fanfic, confused screaming. Just look up God's Shadow. Harry Potter fanfic.
It's called Horny Witches. I looked it up.
Yeah, there it is. And you can know when I was...
and they've got one for Bleach, High School DxD, Naruto.
I
like, this
love their
really...
writing because they take it to an extreme place that I like, right? It's a lot of focus on like not so there's different types of mind break, right? I don't like mind break in the sense of like they're losing who they are as people and becoming like slaves. Don't like that. What I do like is this pleasure is so overwhelming and intense. I'm basically like a new woman now after that. You know what I mean?
Bro, you're right. Like, this person really is going hard in the Harry Potter one. Like, the One Piece one has 182,000 words and 16 chapters. The Horny Witches one, the Harry Potter one, it's got 230,000 words, but also 16 chapters. So they're really like, each chapter must be insane.
And you know what? You want to know what's worse? The One Piece one started first. The Horny Witches one is relatively new. I've been reading this One Piece one for so long. It's like the best Luffy harem because the concept is Luffy, like he completes his goal. He becomes king of the pirates. His crew disbands, and now he's like lonely and sad. He's basically done the thing where it's like, well, I accomplished my dream.
Yeah.
Now I'm depressed. What do I do? And Robin teaches him about sex because Luffy's very asexual in the series. So he goes down the direction of like, Robin's like, hey, maybe I can give you like something new to focus on. And like Robin teaches him about sex, and he's like, he learns about it, and his new dream becomes like basically like reuniting because he realizes retroactively, he's like, oh my god, I met so many beautiful women over my adventures, and now I know about sex, and I'm the king of the pirates, and I saved all their nations. They're definitely gonna fuck me. Like, I'm gonna go back and just collect.
I'll right all the wrongs.
I'm gonna go back and collect all these women. So he's like forming his new pirate crew, but it's just him and a bunch of women from throughout the series, and like it's just like their daily lives are just like mass free use, like fucking like harem orgy sex constantly. It's and the way he describes it is insane. It's so good.
If this artist ever gets a hold of 100 Girlfriends, the fanfic will be incredible.
I gotta fucking... He has a Patreon. I need to get on his Patreon and be like, listen, I'm begging you. 100 Girlfriends is so up your alley.
I need you to read this series, like for no reason in particular. Just...
How much money do I need to pay you to write a 100 Girlfriends fanfic that takes place in the future, where he's got his fucking horny women compound?
It's minimum 100,000 words.
It's Rentero's quest to impregnate all 100 of his girlfriends within the span of like a week or less.
Yeah,
I can do it. Yes.
You know, like Kusari gave them the like you will die if you get pregnant by the end of this weak drug, and he's gotta solve the issue the only way that they can. Like, I mean, it's not like he wants to do it. He's just trying to protect his girlfriend.
Much like an acid needs a base to nullify it, this particular drug will kill you if you don't have a surplus amount of semen flood your womb within a week.
Yeah, it's basically to make you a succubus drug.
I love it. I love it. All right, moving on. You guys are great. This is fun. What if we have a new homeroom teacher in the second years of high school if time does go forward? Yeah, I mean, a new teacher would be great.
Homeroom teacher. Right? Oh, yeah. I feel like I appreciate the questions, but they are hard to answer.
I think he's popping ideas out. We're gonna look at these as suggestions more than questions. Yep. Let's be honest. Rentero is modern Shakespeare if Shakespeare's descendant, or like Shakespeare's descendant with how smooth he is. You know what's funny is Shakespeare in his time, wasn't he kind of considered like crass and like very lewd? And,
yeah. Because he wrote for the masses. He didn't write about the like the Greek tragedies or whatever, the highfalutin, old ass stories. He was writing about the kings and the queens and the Hamlets and whatnot.
Same thing with Mozart, by the way. Like, crazy part, like, it's almost like artists that become famous and make things that change the world are not stuffy, shirted pieces of boring shit. They're like boundary pushers. They're interesting people. You know what I mean?
Like they engage in diversity. They engage in inclusion, maybe even a little equity. Like they don't stay stuck up in ivory towers. They like allow themselves to mingle with the other people. And when you do that, you get some really interesting, combination things that you can't, things that you yourself can't come up with.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could remember the movie. It's maybe you're pretty cultured. It's like a movie about Mozart.
I think maybe I have seen a movie about Mozart we saw it in art class at school.
Is it the one where there's like it's like the second most famous composer of the land?
Yeah, okay, I know
Amadeus.
Yep.
Amadeus.
Yeah,
incredible movie.
I think. Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna send you the
I remember. It's been a while since I saw it, but I remember thinking like, yeah, it was a pretty cool, pretty well, interesting movie.
I'm
not sure how accurate it was.
Super into like period pieces. I never have been.
Well, you don't really like menstruation?
Well, actually, no. I really enjoyed your Art of Akko. Probably my favorite period piece.
Yeah, literal period piece.
This movie here, and I'll show it on screen as well. Oh God, where is our DMs? There's so much happening. Come on now. There we go. Scroll, please. Did I not? Why is it not showing up on my computer? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. But I never saw the poster for it. I didn't actually know. It looks so freaking like artsy.
It's very artsy. So this movie's actually fucking incredible. So essentially it's like this guy who's like dream is to like be the best composer in the world, to the point where like he prayed to God, like, oh God, please let me. I want to speak your words through my music. I want, and he's like pretty good. He put in the work basically, right? He fucking did everything he could to be, and he's like the composer for like the king of a whole country and shit. And then Mozart comes in and he's heard Mozart's music and he's like, this guy is a fucking legend. Like his music truly is touched by God. I can't wait to meet him and see what this guy's like.
And he's like, Mozart's a fucking like slob. He was like Momoha-esque.
Yes,
he's like slob basically.
He's a slob. He finds him basically like fucking a woman under a table, or not. He wasn't fucking her. He was trying to fuck her. He's like lifting her skirt up and like touching her private parts and like tickling her and he's like under there like just being a fucking weirdo. Also like the guy who plays Mozart in this movie, so fucking autistic. He's doing the autism really well. He's like playing autism super well. But like the dynamic that turns this movie into a 10 is that Mozart, much like all great artists, were ahead of their time. His music, literally one of the criticisms of his music in this movie is there's too many notes. There's far too many notes. The human mind can only comprehend so many notes at once.
Yeah, classic like stodgy person, like trains are too fast because the human body can only handle so much speed before you die or whatever.
Yes,
and they love pulling that bio-essentialism shit. Yeah.
What makes this movie so good is that like the guy, like the main character of the movie, whose like dream is to be like a great composer, because he is like a music genius. He knows that Mozart's shit is fucking incredible. He's listening to it and like crying. I mean, he's literally like the example of like your number one hater because he's your number one lover, basically. He is committed to being your hater because he knows how good you are. So he's trapped in this weird thing where like for the love of the music, he knows that Mozart's shit is incredible, but he's noticing that everyone else around him is like, I don't know if I like it. So he's coming out and being like, yeah, I agree. It's not good. It's shitty. But meanwhile, he's showing up to every single one of Mozart's shows, like in a mask in the background and shit. Oh yeah. I mean, he's upset. Truly. I mean, the best example I've seen of like living rent free in someone's head, basically. All that to say that it's like the biggest toxic yaoi ever. That movie is a toxic yaoi. If you really,
I had not thought of that, but now you opened my mind. You like how Meme basically opened my mind.
Yeah. Why did I bring this up, by the way? What was the connecting tissue?
About.
Let's see.
The comment. Let's see if we can find a comment. Maybe that will jog our memory.
Modern Shakespeare from Tiller Nunes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Like, there's art pushing, boundary pushing, blah blah blah. Okay.
Like genre fiction, basically. Like the genre fiction is often, it becomes. Today's genre fiction often becomes tomorrow's like literary like classics and all that sort of thing.
True. Yeah. 100 Girlfriends will be studied in textbooks in 100 years.
I mean, I would say it deserves it. Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about like
at least just the feet.
The utos will be studied.
Well, okay, I meant FEAT, but maybe the FEETs they should be studied as well.
So like, I can imagine a future where polyamorous relationships are a lot more normalized, and I could see this being like a stepping stone. Like people looking at like this is an example of a piece of media that came out during a time where it was considered weird and abnormal. You know, that'd be really interesting. Okay, how would you guys feel about the idea of a former classmate who was fired from a job that they were working illegally because of her, and the classmate lost her? Oh, that's so much, Luke.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay, I remember Luke bringing that up. Like, maybe make it a little less extreme. Like, I feel like,
yeah,
like if it's that crazy, it's gonna be a little hard for the characters to sort of let bygones be bygones. Where it's like you let my parent die. Like, maybe it's more like they were just doing like they were just getting like change for like a thing they wanted to buy or something like that, like some toy they wanted to buy and they couldn't get it because of that. But
yeah, and you want to resist the idea or resist the urge to like pile on details, because I think like something I remember learning this from back when I was an avid watcher of shonen anime, and I watched one of the Fate series. I've talked about this before, like Fate something. And like what I noticed about the powers in Fate was it was much like I've mentioned spin the wheel characters. It was a spin the wheel power set where like these characters would have powers that were out of fucking nowhere. Like they didn't match their personality.
To be fair, most of those characters are based on historical figures. So
you can give them powers that fit their vibe as historical figures, though.
Well, okay. Well, that'd be more like the issue. There is more like the writers chose because a lot of the things there are literal powers that existed within the original fiction. But then the issue there would be like you change the character so much that it's like this doesn't match like it doesn't feel like it matches the power set.
Well, it's been too long.
I haven't watched enough to like be able to remember. I know like Ku has like the Gaybolg, which is like that's an actual thing that works the way that it's explained in the story. Like, that's how it worked in the original. Irish.
We might be thinking of a different, because there's a bunch of Fate, right? Like,
well, yeah. And there's even ones where they start bringing in like fucking like Thomas Edison, and he's like a lion and shit. Like, so yeah, I do like the original ones are a little more.
Yeah, I could be
sensible.
thinking of a. I'm not too sure which one.
But yeah, I do get. Yeah, I mean, I can see how.
Like, I remember there was like an old evil guy, and his power was he had like this fucking invisible blob that he rode around in. I don't. Does that sound familiar at all? Like he's like in a blob.
Maybe
there's just a blob.
They are.
Thing.
Yes, they are invisible. Like I think like the female Arthur, the Artoria, her sword is invisible, but that she doesn't ride on. I mean, yeah, there was the rider class who presumably, I'm sure one of them could have ridden on invisible.
I don't know. It just felt so like not. That's why I like Hunter x Hunter so much.
Yeah,
the powers
Fate
are so
famous. Yeah, Fate is famous for being complicated and difficult to like just needlessly complicated and bloated as that. That's the appeal,
Well, all that to say, what I learned from that is like, it's not when you're crafting a power, and I think this goes for crafting a character as well. You should lean towards starting simple and branching out versus starting with a trillion attributes, right? So to me, a power like a perfect example, right? There are some powers where the starting point is you can tell that the author is like trying really hard to be like, look how creative my power is. And it's like crazy shit where it's like, okay, so my power is I make a grid, and if I step to the left, this set of events happens. But if I step to the right, this set of events happens. But if I do it on a Tuesday at 3, 4, 3...
Like JoJo's? You mean like the JoJo stands?
Yes and no.
Yeah, because I was trying to say, like, there's a difference between, like, an amateur trying to do that sort of thing.
Yes.
And, like, because it's like minimalism versus maximalism. Like when you actually know what you're doing, it's one of those two things. But when you're still like, when you're still like a sort of, I don't know, maybe not amateur artist, but before you know how to mix and match.
You're totally right.
Like if you know what you're doing, you can throw together as few or as many elements as you want. But,
well, let me finish my point there. Like, So, like, compare something like that done in a bad way, right? Because you're right. Like, there are authors that can do it in a good way, but compare something like that to like Luffy, right? You open up with Luffy. It's literally the intro concept to that power is he's stretchy. He's made of rubber. Mm-hmm. That's it. But the shit he does with that, like he has a move that I love. I can't remember if it's firework or no, it's shotgun. I think he doesn't use it nearly as often as he should, but he goes to punch someone, and then he takes his finger and like flicks his kind of like where his like around where his elbow would be. Like so he punches and then he twangs his arm and then the punch it like reverberates down his arm and then the punch is like and it's like it's hard to predict, right? He does I'm trying to think. He does a Goma Goma firework where he jumps into the air, spins around and just punches, and he punches so fast it just looks like a cavalcade of fists is exploding out of every little area. He has one called Goma Goma UFO where he grabs like at the moment when he does this, I think he's like up on like a railing, like a little ramp, and he grabs like the edges of the railing and he twists around his legs as much as he like his whole hips or like his waist, and he twists it, and then he's able to basically essentially hover because his legs are spinning so fast that it's like hovering him.
That makes you wonder: do UFOs exist in One Piece? I mean, I'm sure there are flying objects.
There are comics in One Piece that have been talked. Like there was a moment where when
like the sci-fi version, like what sci-fi is like in One Piece world.
That's a great question, yeah. Because when Luffy gets Gear 5th, which is even another advancement of his powers we can talk about later. But when Luffy gets Gear 5th, Kaido, the guy he's fighting, is like it's like something out of a comic strip. So comic strips do exist. So yeah, I'm sure the concept of aliens exist. But yeah, so I mean, like that's a series where like that's such a on the surface a simple power, and Oda just and like that's nothing to say about Gear 2, Gear 3, right? So again, we're still talking about.
I was wondering, like there's 5 of them, so
let me cook. I'd love to be the one to tell you this, Rios. Do you not know about how they work? Because I would love to tell you.
No, not really.
Oh,
though apparently Richmond's in chat being like, bro, stop spoiling One Piece. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richmond. I mute for a sec. I'm so sorry.
Cover your ears.
So, fuck yeah. I wonder can someone in chat tell Richmond. All right, hold on. Richmond, we will tell you when One Piece spoilers are done. Okay, someone in chat tell him when the One Piece spoilers are done. I'll tell you, like I'll be like, okay, go tell him now. So again, just because I think it narrates my point so well about like start off simple and slowly branch out. It makes it so much better. So Gear 2nd, again, we're still just dealing with his power is that he's made out of rubber. That's it. Right? There's no other fancy shit on it. It's like, hey, I'm made of rubber. Gear 2nd, what he does is he does blood doping. I don't know if do you know what blood doping is as a concept?
No, but I think I've seen what he looks like when he does it. But yeah, go.
So what he does is he basically, like, because he's made out of rubber, and that includes his bones, that includes his veins, that includes his organs. He pumps his legs, basically. Like, he basically just, like, boom, 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 with his legs so hard that it makes his heart pump faster, and it makes the blood pump through his body faster. And this gives him adrenaline, energy. Like, it's basically, like, it makes him high. It's you can look up blood doping. It's, like, a real thing, and he's just doing it in his wacky little Luffy way. And the only reason that his heart, like, basically, the guy he's fighting at the time when he does this, he says, if you weren't made out of rubber and you tried to do something like this, your heart would explode.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
yeah,
isn't high blood pressure bad for your heart?
It is, but he's made out of rubber. But
he can handle it.
But they do clarify it's one of those classic anime things where every time he uses that power, it's shortening his lifespan.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense because that every time like that's destroying your blood vessels.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And then Gear 5th. You ready for this one, motherfucker? This is crazy. He's made out of rubber, so he bites his thumb, makes a little hole in his thumb, blows air into his fist, makes it fucking huge. Big punch.
Yeah.
And he can move that air around his body. So you want big foot? Move the air down to my foot. You know?
Yeah, okay, that is real Looney Tunes ass shit, but yeah.
Well, so
but yeah, I remember because when that arc was finally animated, I actually did spend like one night like just watching all like the little clips that were coming out on like YouTube. It was such a interesting fight. It's like seeing the literal Looney Tunes.
If I said 5, hold on. If I said 5, I meant third, Luke. Or I mean, Wobber. I apologize.
Continue. Okay, yeah, I was wondering what happened to 3 and 4.
Sorry.
I figure we'll get back around.
Yeah, so 3 is the biting the thumb, the air. I apologize. Yeah, 4. Okay, so and 3 he calls it his bone balloon. So the implication is he's blowing the air right into his bones.
Okay.
He's biting deep. 4 is called Muscle Balloon, similar to Gear Third, except it's going all into his muscular system. His entire body gets big and muscly, and he applies Haki to it. Haki is a secondary power system that we won't get into that. 5 is where it really, really gets weird. This is real One Piece spoilers, so do not listen if you care at all. 5, it's revealed that his power all along, and see that this is an example, right? Because like if Oda started with this, it would have been lame. Oda has said in interviews before that he always wanted to make like a Looney Tunes character the main character of a series. Like, he wanted a character that was like a fucking cartoon character. That's clearly Luffy's inspiration, always has been. Finally, now that we're in the final arc, it's revealed that Luffy actually has a devil fruit that is do you know what mythical devil fruits exist in One Piece? Basically, so like there's a devil fruit for Buddha, where you can just become the golden Buddha statue and shoot out giant Buddhist.
Yeah, the Buddha fruit.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a devil fruit. There's a phoenix fruit. You can be phoenix. These are really rare. Luffy's fruit is actually, and this is high tier One Piece lore shit. There's a fictional god in One Piece called Nika, and that god is essentially characterized as like a Looney Tunes character who like saves the oppressed. So he's like a stretchy, silly, wacky guy. He brings smiles everywhere he goes, and he saves like slaves and the oppressed. Basically, he like breaks slaves out of their in encampments and shit like that. And his fruit is not the Gomu Gomu no Mi. That is the fake name that the government gave it, because this deity is like directly opposed to like what the government does, because the government, so that it's what his fruit actually is the mythical version of the Nika fruit. So he has all the powers of this deity. This deity just happens to be rubber in nature. Once he awakened the fruit, he got all the like god powers with it. The god powers essentially just allow him to be a cartoon character. So now where we're at now.
What we're saying is that Oda really was playing the long game.
Yes.
So that's 1,000 episodes in. I don't know how many chapters into the manga that is.
It's around 1,000 something, yeah. And what's nice about that is, like, to me, it illustrates the point I'm trying to make perfectly, which is, like, Oda could have started out trying to be like, okay, so he's got, like, this god power that lets him be a loony, and that would have been lame. The fact that he let us build up to it, so good. You know what I mean? So like that's
definitely something that I noticed in my own writing more. Like, when you do exposition, you only have like I often think of it as like you have a few broad brush strokes you can get away with.
Yeah, you only have so much attention.
You start trying to paint. Yeah, you start trying to paint like a full freaking like big ass painting. People are gonna be like, okay, like I don't need the whole thing. Just give them the brush strokes. And then as you go through the scene or the book or whatever, then you can occasionally add more brushstrokes, and then eventually you end up with the full painting. But don't try to do that all in one go. Like it doesn't work.
Hey, Yawabber, I was purposefully not saying that because I didn't, or don't type it, because we have a guy who's trying not to get spoiled. Thank you. And the only person that's in here that could delete Richmond, Rios, can you delete the human model?
Yeah.
No problem, Yawabber. It's just I don't want to spoil my boy. Does everyone want to I don't know if maybe I can @ Richmond in Discord just in case he's because I don't want him to be muted anymore. He's my man, he's my boy.
If he's listening at work, he might not be able to see.
Oh yeah, good point.
Oh wait, no, he's back in the chat.
He should be out now. Oh, is he back? All right, cool.
Right.
Okay, well, hopefully none of that means anything to him. So, what was I saying? We were talking about something else after the One Piece. What was it again?
Well, I mean, you have an example.
Oh, exposition. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So exposition. If you want examples of a terrible, terrible piece of exposition, Kishimoto's series he tried to do after Naruto, Samurai 8, gave me the worst first impression, bad taste in my mouth I've ever had in my life. Have you ever read Samurai 8? I don't know why you would. It's bad.
No, but I feel like it's like a continuation of the issues he had as Naruto started. As Naruto Shippuden started to like reach its conclusion, and it was just kind of started to fall apart. I mean, is it? I mean,
spoiler incoming on what?
Yeah.
We're done with spoilers.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess I don't know how early in Samurai 8 is this.
No, this is the first page. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
yeah,
like
it doesn't count as spoilers.
Yeah. So the thing here, let me make sure the live stream's at the right time here. Okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we weren't like mega delayed for anything. But yeah, no, it's been a while since I've read it, but like my memory of it is like the first like 3 pages are just this like long diatribe about like all the MacGuffins. It really turns me off if you start off describing the MacGuffins, right? Like Dragon Ball style. Like there's these. I don't even know if Dragon Ball did that. It might have like slowly introduced you to the concept, but if I remember correctly, Samurai 8 was like there's these things, and if you collect the things, you can do a thing with the things, and I'm just like, oh, I don't care. Like you can have things. Every story has things. You just need to like start off with character. Start off.
Like it shows like the laziness of the artists or writers. Like, okay, if you're gonna do it like this, why should I like trust you to actually tell a story in a compelling manner? Like it's like if I want the Cliff Notes version, I can just look it up on Wikipedia or one of them video essayists who will, or I guess not video essayists, but like one of those like video summarizers where they summarize the story or whatever, you know.
And no spoilers for One Piece, but I will say that's one of the cool things about One Piece is that you learn about the planet and the world and all the secrets of it as they do, right? So it's not like, you know, the series doesn't open up with this big like narration like, and in this world there's a world government and they've been in power since blah 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 blah. You know what?
And
no,
it's been like naughty government. Like they've
yeah. So like I don't even think they learn about, like, they really go into that concept until, like, the 200s or so, you know, like, but yeah, it's cool stuff. Anyway, all that let me get back to where we were. I think we're probably running out of, like, actual questions, not people just reacting to stuff, but we'll wrap it up here soon. Gotta be watched so Hasua can have a good experience. I agree. Thank you, Mela, for your services. I really do want to know with Hasua, I need to know the limits of her smell enjoyment. Because to me, the freak levels, I want the freak levels high. I really do. That's going to be my enjoyment of Hasu. I want to know that if Rentero's had a sweaty day and she gets a pit whiff, that she's into it.
It's like, that's like foreplay for them.
Yes, because she doesn't like garbage. That's fine, right? I don't think a smell fetishist would like garbage either, right? It's all about the BO. So like, give me the BO confirmation, because the thing with Rentero is I know my boy probably smelled good. You know, he's a hygiene boy for sure. So I want to know if you catch Rentero after like a jog with Iku, and you get a whiff, how's Hasu dealing with that? Does it enhance the experience?
I mean, I think there's really no question. It's just more like we want to see it. You know, I want to see with my own eyes the thing that I already know is the truth. Kind of.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't know if I know that though, because we've only seen her smelling. I mean, so the thing
I don't know why. Because like normally,
I'll tell you why.
I guess,
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, normally like your sweat smell is not that different from like your normal. Because like your normal smell, ignoring like scented stuff, is just the same smell. You know, just a less intense version of what you would smell like covered in sweat. Basically.
But we don't know for sure that what she's smelling is just his sweat, or if he's wearing like nice cologne, deodorant. He's well bathed. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like given the kinkiness of it, I feel like it wouldn't just be great. Like your perfume game is like on point. You know? It's got to be like, I am smelling your musk. You know, I'm smelling your like your.
Yes.
Your male scent or whatever, you know, like you know, like that the Mesu Ona thing. Like if you know, like a lot of you know, hentai, Japanese hentai, like to have a scent thing as part of the kink. Like, you know, they'll talk about like the female odor or like the male scent. His male scent is activating my instincts, or whatever, that kind of thing.
That's what I'm hopeful for. Yeah, I need confirmation. You're right. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but I need to see it. You're right.
Yeah. I want my eyes to be blessed with her like coming over his male odor. Like, I want to see her say the hentai words.
Me too. Yeah, I want to see her be like, God. Have you ever watched? You know about Meat Canyon, right?
Yeah.
Fucking God, it stinks, nice and good.
Yeah. The Superman meme of like, my favorite.
Oh man. Okay. Let me make sure I haven't missed much here. If you were brought into this series and you could change anything in real time with the characters, what would you change, if anything? I would make time pass.
Yeah, I would find a calendar and start ripping off the months so that I can.
I would like time to pass. I would like Kusari to go to that college that she was talking about. I want to see a little bit more movement. And that's why I like this chapter, because it's, along with an S-tier girlfriend, it's introducing the concept that things happen.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, we know that, you know, relationships and the characters in them are developing, but this is confirmation that the outside world is moving. Even in a snail's pace, it is moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's reacting to
Yes.
their actions. But to be fair, he immediately became he stopped being part of the outside world and became part of the family. So maybe it's like, and maybe you could say that that's kind of a technicality.
No, but she called him in. She called him in before she zinged with him, for this reason, right?
Yeah.
So that is proof that the outside characters are learning. There's things. The world is moving. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we see some more non-girlfriend characters notice him, then we can start being like, oh, definitely, like, yeah, we're really getting.
I want to see.
Like, we're entering not end game, but we're getting out of pre-game.
Yeah.
Or we're getting into game.
We're no longer pre-game, and we're fucking toasted, baby.
Yeah.
I want to see other girls or other students bully some of the people. I want to see bullying for, like, well, what are you, a slut? What are you? I don't know, like something. You know what I mean? Like I would. That's fucking weird.
Like, yeah, we got that Kishiga Kusuri thing where the other girls learned about it, where they were totally down for it, like, oh, okay, it's, well, I don't remember how exactly. They were definitely positive about it. They weren't like weirded out about it. Someone would definitely have. There would definitely be people. First of all, it's Japan. They have very strict. Cultural.
There's gonna be people.
Rules,
there's people over here that would be like, "That's fucking weird." My mom is a very understanding, open person. She'd be very weirded out if I was like, "So I'm dating two girls and they're both super cool with it." And
many people are just like, "Okay, that's just cheating," but you gave it a fancy name.
Yeah, exactly. Rentaro pushing back. That's something I love about this series too. I want to see that element of it. Rentaro changing society's opinion on.
I actually would like to see someone be like, bro, you're just cheating on these girls. You actually don't care about any of them.
That would be nuts.
Be like, grab him by the collar, like, what did you say about, like, I would never, like, do that to my girls. Like,
I love that. All right. No, go ahead. Sorry.
That would be cool, I guess. Yeah.
It would. Greetings from Germany, you two, from King Lao. That's cool.
Guten Tag. Yeah.
Can you send one of your women over to Rentaro? So we wanted a German girl.
Yeah. Yeah, B. Nakamura is like a sensitivity reader for that for foreign girlfriends.
Thanks for passing the Nazism over to us, by the way. Very cool of you.
Yeah. You took it back from us, or you gave it back to us after you took it from us in the 1930s.
Just borrowing it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a turn with the Nazism. All right. I was busy. I couldn't be here much. Thanks, Luke. Thank you for being here as much as you could, Luke. I really appreciate you. At work, bro. Richmond, are you out of work yet? Because your time's running out. If you want to make a cheeky donation, do not. You already got me that book. You don't have to.
That was the donation.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm Zings, and I sent a video in memes channel. Oh, okay, gotcha. Let me go see it. I have so many fucking DMs from people. Oh my god, when I stream, people love me. I'm important. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. I had to find Rin's beautiful face. Which video is it? Wait, did you mean I'm Zinj? Oh yeah, okay. So Uwabber is Zinj, I think.
Okay.
Is the video every girlfriend described by Dracula Flow?
What?
Or is it? Yeah. Okay, it must be. All right, I'm gonna watch it, I guess.
I've been fully consumed by hatred, jealousy, and lust.
This video is a little. You know what? Okay, I'll get it. Should I get it up and screen share with you, Rios?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Okay, guys, prepare yourself. Now, I'm just gonna say, if the stream crashes, it's over. The stream's just gonna end.
Yeah, that is a fun way. Yeah, a fun way to end the stream. We'll crash it.
Okay, here we go. Believe. It's really struggling to load. I hope we're doing okay. Good so far. Okay, excellent connection. All right. I gotta look up what I know I could click the link, but every tab change, I'm terrified. Every girlfriend described. I'm sure that'll get me there. Friend describe. I'm sorry. I'm typing with one hand. Please don't judge me. By
I type with one hand a lot.
Dr. Dracula. Oh no! I clicked Draco.
Yeah, Draco Malfoy described the 32 girlfriends.
Hell yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, I got a screen share with you. I forgot.
I've been fully consumed.
Okay, now we're going to go to screen share with Rios. Oh my god. It really is like de-arming a bomb when I'm streaming on this laptop. Oh, forgot I'm down here. Okay, let me get to the recording studio. And let me get rid of this ad. And let me screen share. Here we go. Screens. Come on. There we go. All right. I'm gonna lower the quality's already. Oh, perfect. It's already as low as it can be. Great.
Yeah, the YouTube already knows what type of computer it's playing.
No, I meant for the screen share. 720 and 15 frames per second is as low as it can go.
Damn.
Okay, make sure my encoding's not overloaded. It's a little overloaded, according to OBS is struggling a touch. How are we doing on the stream, everybody? Are we okay? Okay, I'm scared. I'm gonna see how the stream's doing. It's still running. It's
still doing good. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, you can. I can hear his laptop. All right, here we go, everybody. Let me know if the stream stops. Can you see? And you can see, Rios?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
By hatred, jealousy, and lust. She sucked me like a cordless Dyson.
Yeah, but an hour's worth of
All right, I
things to talk about.
Real quick. What are they saying?
Yeah. Don't worry, there's always next time.
Did it come back? Are we back? Guys, listen. It can't be done. It can't be done.
Yeah.
Until I get a good computer, I can handle 1 tab max. I'm so sorry. So here's the plan, everybody. That will be my first big purchase. I have my tax return. I have potentially a pay increase coming at work. I'm going to get a very good computer. I'm going to do it. Okay?
And yeah, you don't even need to do anything crazy. You don't need to buy a $600 laptop because nowadays even a little $300 thing would be able to handle what we're doing like pretty handily, I guess.
You see what Zinj did to me? I can't believe you did that, Zinj. Oh man, how are we still going good?
Yeah, I got the stream up on my end. And it's
perfect.
going, I guess. Yeah,
we're good now. Okay, I mean it's fine as long as I really do think that if I just watched the video, I could have done it, but it was on the combination of sharing the screen with you as well. It couldn't do it. No, fuck you. I'll watch it later. I'll watch it on my own time. You derailed this stream, sir.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, and people who are trying to destroy the stream can't decide how the stream goes.
Richmond's like, no,
crash it.
No, dude. Richmond wants to give us money so bad, and I really appreciate that.
But we're not gonna let him.
No, I do have to get off soon, unfortunately. I got a nut real bad. It's been too long, and also I got a friend coming over, and I got a nut before that friend comes over, so I don't nut in him.
Damn. I already got my nut done earlier today. But
get you a nut in. I find if I stream while needing to nut, it ups my testosterone and energy.
like the opposite of nutting before you go on a date.
Yes, yeah. I have to edge before I talk about 100 girlfriends, so the passion is there,
Oh my lord, yeah.
All right.
The things that men have to do.
Okay, guys. Final thoughts. Just give me a couple final thoughts, questions, concerns. Is the stream still
hate
fucking?
Comments? Yeah.
Okay, according to him, the stream is like all fucked now, or well, coding overloaded. Why? What have I haven't done anything. Why is it fucking? Oh no, it says it's not anymore. Okay, well if we sit on this screen, it might be better. How is it now? Stopping recording. Why is it?
I think that was. I think it stopped now because that was because Richmond sent that a few minutes ago.
Oh God. Okay, guys. I think I need to stop recording before my
Poor man.
computer.
He's over here doing like.
I think.
Yeah, you see, like, don't leave me. Like, the stream is fixed.
I think it's I think it's fucked. I think it's over.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do the Batman meme where you're hugging us, trying to keep us there. But yeah, we're about to vanish. Unfortunately, but, like I said, we'll reappear. Sometime in the near future.
My OBS has frozen. I don't know if the stream's still going or if it stopped. No, it definitely stopped.
No, it's still going.
Is it?
Oh, really? I mean, I'm looking at it on the stream. Like, I'm looking at it on my phone and also on the desktop.
Yeah, it is. Do you guys see how on my screen the OBS is frozen? Like, it's not like I'm shocked we're still streaming. I hope that this adds something to the fun of our streams. I hope it doesn't detract. That's a big fear I have, is that
it's jank. I mean, nowadays people know that streaming is jank central.
Jank is in.
Gone are the days where people expect this sort of professional studio quality from just random ass like YouTubers.
Well, it's true. I mean, look at like advertisements now. It's just like shitty text to speech and like fucking someone pouring milk on a plushie. It's like.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, people like it because it feels more authentic.
True. Well, this is so authentic, guys. All right, I need to leave before my computer.
Yeah, in this case, it actually is, but yeah.
Yes. I love you guys. We will stream again next weekend for sure. I'm going to get with Rios before that and go through all my settings and see if I can do anything to make it less likely that my computer explodes. So that'll be great. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Richmond. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Marley Plays. Thank you, Mela. Thank you, Alex Castillo.
Yep, thank you, everyone.
I assume the stream's still going. I'm so fucking paranoid. It is. All right, beautiful.
I think it is.
There's no way for me to check because it's totally frozen. I love you guys so much. Yawabber / Zinja's Nightmare, truly the problematic person that I knew him to be. Crashing the stream. I mean, it needed to end anyway. We were getting to that point, so it worked. I'm glad you didn't, right before we started the review, you're like, hey, can you watch this video real quick? And then it just kills it. That would have been great. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Rich. I'm sorry, Richmond. Richmond, you know what? All the more money that you can donate to us next stream.
Yeah.
The stream, cannot wait for the next one. Thank you guys so much. I'll do a little test. Maybe we could test streaming on your channel to see if with my laptop, or now, you know what? Fuck it. I think I should we're going to fucking test around with your computer. I'll give you permission to the channel. You can stream from your computer onto our channel, and then we can do the guess the tier list shit from your end. Or is that bad? Do you not want to do that?
Yeah. Sorry, you're actually trying to cut out now, my end, but I heard.
All right, we're leaving. Love you guys. Goodbye.
Tried to stream on my end.
We gotta leave. We gotta leave. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
Oh God, OBS is crashing. Goodbye, everyone.
You probably have to close it via Task Manager.
No, end the stream on YouTube. Zed, hurry. Fucking Jesus, dude. OBS is literally not.